Once we repair this building and restore this building, it's brand new on the inside. We got to restore it because it was damaged. But brothers and sisters, modern. We don't have to worry about asbestos. We don't have to worry about lead paint. We don't have to worry about asbestos. We don't have to worry about lead paint. Brothers and sisters, we need the FDMG sign very large on all 4 buildings. I want to put the big logo in glass. I want it to light up at night. So when somebody drives down Ifatunde Boulevard, when somebody drives down Ifatunde Boulevard, when somebody drives down Ifatunde Boulevard, they will see the FDMG sign lit up at night. Cows, horses, chickens. Buck, buck, the loosey goosey. You buck, 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 the loosey goosey. You buck, 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 buck. Anyone who has hated on me or this, you are not allowed in my school for the rest of your life. You can't come to an event. You can't come to the Pan-African Youth Conference. You can't come to the Black Women's Fashion Show, the Black Women's Conference. You can't come to the study groups. You can't come to the think tanks. You can't come to none of the formals, none of the parties. You can't come to the yoga class. You can't come to the fitness center. You can't visit the Pan-African Library. If you have ever hated on me or my school, your ass is not allowed. And if I catch you loitering around my campus. How we doing there, gorgeous? I want to have a conference. I want music. I want fashion show. I want seminar. I want yoga class. I want African language. I want a musical concert.
Oh, say, can you see the abandoned buildings behind me? I don't mean to criticize, but I'm tired of the lies. There's no HVAC to be seen. Donde estás, brother Jose Martin? What about the taxes still owed? 119 stacks, truth be told. And the rock still sits there, the only thing that gets care. No school to be found, plenty of trash on the ground. Oh, see that trap bando scampus right over there. Run them donations, 'cause it ain't free, 'cause it's a scam. Can't you see?
Right across the street, we got a big park. We want to rent that out and do a big park, a big celebration with food and festivals and activities for the children with over 100 vendors.
All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning on in to the live stream here with Umar Johnson, this charlatan. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning on in. We got quite a bit to get to. Cookie Crush Chat is undefeated. Let's get into it. Let's go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG, it's coming. 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 Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking, it's twerking.
I forgot about this one. Sabotage. And he had Marcus Garvey looking like Marcus Garvey looking side-eye. She's just like, sabotage. Anyway, I haven't seen this. I hadn't seen that intro in so long. I forgot what was all in it. So that was awesome. Thank you all so much for tuning on in. Everyone at Cook said, thank you for taking the time to tune on in. I did live stream a little bit earlier today. We did a politics show and we addressed the presidential debate from last night. And it was a doozy. It really was. When you have some time, it's in the archive. Go and check it out. I want to thank everyone for tuning on in again. Let's get right into it because I really want to try to condense this particular show within 2 hours. And we should be able to do it because there's one video I want to get to. And really, it's Umar talking about the presidential debate. The thing with Umar, though, is that everything he talks about when it comes to politics is really a misdirection. It's about putting himself in a position of power. It's about placing him as an authority figure. It's about getting attention placed on him. So if you guys aren't new to Umar and you haven't watched Umar long enough, let me just hit you through some game right quick. Umar's, one of his main goals is to be on social media to get attention placed on him. And anytime he sees someone else getting more attention or getting significant amount of attention, he attacks those people. He tends to do it to Black celebrities, in particular athletes. It can also be comedians more recently. He also attacks Black politicians. He really does attack a lot of Black people. Like that's the main thrust of his message. If you listen carefully, mostly of what Umar Johnson does, the vast majority of the time when he's speaking negatively about Black people. He's speaking negatively about Black parents. He's speaking negatively about Black children. He speaks negatively about Black politicians, Black sports athletes, about entertainers, comedians, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. His main target, however, is Black males who are far more successful than he is. So ultimately, he's a clout chaser. He does speak poorly about Black women too, but mainly he targets Black men. So when he sees someone who's getting a lot of attention, or there's a lot of attention being put in some sphere, as an example right now within politics, he wants to chime in. He wants to say things that are way over the top. He wants to criticize and criticize and criticize. He wants to disrespect and disrespect and disrespect. But the idea is he wants attention placed on him. Now, one of the dangerous parts about this is that ultimately what Umar is, and I'm sure he's going to do this in this live stream, ultimately what Umar is attempting to do is to suppress the quote unquote Black vote. And he's doing that by telling Black people that they should not vote. Let me tell y'all something. If you decide to vote, that should be your choice. You shouldn't let anyone try to persuade you to do otherwise. If you're not going to vote, that should be your choice. You shouldn't have anyone around trying to tell you that you should do otherwise. That's a personal choice. And no one should be online trying to dictate to someone else whether or not they should be voting. This makes sense? I will be voting this year. I have not decided on who I'm going to vote for so far. I will figure it out as we get closer, but I'm not going to get online and tell you who you should vote for. I'm not going to get online and tell you not to vote. I'm not going to get online and tell you to vote. That's a personal choice. But for Umar to tell Black people that they should not vote, and I'm sure he's going to do it in the video. I haven't watched it yet, but he's done it already in the past. It actually suppresses the voting power of Black people. So what I'm saying here is that it's a total contradiction. On one hand, Umar says that we need to organize our vote and we need to ask for tangibles. But then on the other hand, he's saying don't vote at all. And then he doesn't have anything orchestrated. He doesn't have any type of organization. He doesn't put together an agenda to where you can figure out what it is that this so-called group of Black people are expecting in terms of clearly defined tangibles. Okay, maybe he does in this video. We'll see. But the point is that he hasn't organized anyone. So in the absence of organizing Black people, what purpose does it serve to tell them not to vote? It suppresses the Black vote. Now, it's a different thing if you had a cadre, you put together a well-oiled machine, an organization wherein you're organizing Black people around a particular agenda, and that agenda is executed via the vote. And then you can say, if in fact you did not deliver us these tangibles, now we're not going to vote for you. In fact, we're going to vote for someone else. Okay, that makes sense because now you have political power, and of course, the person who's running, it could be Kamala Harris, it can be Trump. they'll say, okay, maybe I should see what I can do and what can I do for you guys. I'll meet with you guys. I'll have my team meet with you guys. We can figure out what we can do. That way we can secure your vote. We can secure all of these millions of black people, Umar, that you've organized. And we'll figure out what but see, you can't do that because Umar doesn't have any organization skill. What has Umar organized? You seen the video that I just played? He's talking about how we're going to have formals and we're going to have the dances at the school and we're going to have yoga classes and you can't come to the parties. It's the kick it spot. None of that actually came into fruition. Now, he did have 2 block parties, but that's not a tangible. That's a party. Okay. So what I'm getting at is that in the absence of having some sort of a program, a plan, some sort of an agenda that is in place where you've organized millions of black people, and then you can go to the poll and say, listen, we're going to vote for you if you do this. In the absence of that, when you tell people not to vote, you're suppressing the black vote because whatever power that they may have to influence the outcome, you're basically telling them to take that away. In essence, Umar takes that away. That's dangerous. It's irresponsible. But ultimately, Umar is not concerned about the quote unquote black vote. He's not concerned about black people either. His concern is himself. He wants the attention placed on him. He also wants to feel as if he's a power. He has that type of power. He's a dictator who can tell you whether or not you should be voting. And some of you Umar Johnson followers, you guys are going to listen to this guy. Now, if you weren't planning on voting anyway, fine. But don't let somebody get online who living inside his mama closet and is telling you from a hotel motel that he's paying for from donors' money from a fake school that does not exist, that don't have a job, that pays his child support and vote. Don't let this clown tell you what you should be doing. You make an educated decision yourself. That's true power. All right, let's get into the show for today. So this video came out today. And I was planning on doing another one, a different video today. We're actually going to pick up where we left off yesterday, but I think that it's apropos for us to get to this video. I don't know how we're going to get caught up on all of this Umar Johnson stuff. He's on social media all the time because he needs money. He don't have a place to stay. He's homeless. I don't know how we're going to get caught up, but we're going to do our best. Okay. Thank you all so much for tuning on in. Let me get some shout outs too before we get into the show for today. X Freeman said, Lenon, did you get my last email? I did get an email. Someone did. I don't know if that was you though. Was that you? Someone sent me an email because I'd asked during the last live stream earlier today if they had any evidence that shows someone that would provide evidence, as it were, that there were illegal immigrants or illegal aliens, as it were, however you want to phrase it, who were in Springfield and were eating cats and dogs. Okay, it's something that Trump said yesterday. Someone sent me this video, and I don't know if it's you or not, but someone did send me this video. I need to reply. I forgot to reply. And we will address this. We'll probably address it tomorrow. I'll probably just do a quick show where I just actually bring this up. It'll be a political show, and we'll talk about it. I've already watched the video once. We'll watch it again. We'll probably watch it twice during the live stream, and we'll definitely get into that. But if that's not you, I did not see. I don't think I saw your last email. Okay, I'm looking on here. I don't see. Yeah, maybe that is you. Okay. Thanks for tuning on in too. I appreciate East B's in the building as well. Thank you so much. And Yoshida says, Kama. Okay. How's it going? Forever, ever. Kamala Harris for president. Have you decided already? You got to hear policy, right? Do you have all the policies out? Maybe you have. I don't know. Okay. I tell people, make sure you know the policy, then you decide. Okay. It's too soon for me to decide. Okay. Yeah. Umar just be saying any old thing. He really does. That's what he do. Thanks for being here as well. What's up, Black Mario? Thanks for tuning on in. Black Anonymous is in the building as well. Okay, let's get into it today. Someone said that lady was an American. I don't know. Okay, I haven't seen any evidence of anyone eating the cat. I got to see someone eating the cat. That's what I got to see, or a dog, or a squirrel, or anything. All right, let's get into the video for today. Here we go. Notice where Umar is at. You guys want to take a guess? Here we go.
Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Good Garvey Day to my American Africans, my San Diego Africans, my Sacramento Africans, my Long Beach Africans,
airport or hotel.
My Compton Africans, my South
said,
Central
what's
Africans,
up, Derek?
my Hollywood Africans, my Burbank Africans.
Here you go.
Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Jersey and New York Africans, my Texas and Delaware Africans, my Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Toronto, Nova Scotia, Montreal Africans, my Bermuda, Bahamas, Barbados, St. Croix, St. Lucia, St. Thomas,
In the motel bathroom.
St. Kitts, St. Martin, Africa.
Yeah, we know that for sure.
My Ghanaian, Nigerian, Basutu, Lesotho, Malawi,
Yeah, he'll
Kenya,
keep going.
Angolan,
Valerie,
Mozambique,
he'll do this for a couple of minutes.
Congolese, Nubian Africans, my
Nubian.
British and French and Ireland and German Africans.
I got it, X Freeman. In fact, I posted on my community tab. By the way, what I saw after you showed what you showed, and I agree with what you showed, I also could see there's a gorilla in there too. Did you see the gorilla? Let me do this. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on one second. There's a gorilla in there. That's why it looks weird, because it looks like a hat on top of the two heads. And this is one of the original logos. There's actually a couple of other ones, but this is the one I showed so far. I've been doing some background research, going way deep into Umar's past. And let me pull it up right here. You guys can take a look. Wait, it's not going to let me do it. Let me see. I can do it this way. Save this link, and then I'll pull it up. We were trying to figure this out yesterday, and it was definitely a challenge. Okay, here it is right here. Okay, I'll have to zoom in because the file size is pretty small. Okay, so this is one of the original, and from my research, this is probably the second logo, unless I find something otherwise. Let me do a screen share right quick for everyone. Actually, you know what? Let me do something else though. Let me see if I have the original on here. I don't think I have the original. Oh no, here it is. Okay, let me pull this up first. That way we can compare the two. All right, so let me do a screen share. All right, here it is. Okay, so this is the original logo right here. You guys can take a look at that. And there's subliminals, and it's what we call subliminals. I used to do a lot of work on subliminal messages. Yeah, I posted it. And thanks for sending it, because I actually agree with you. But I saw something else too. After you outline the other head or face, that's when I could see clearly something else that's in here that I don't think anyone else has actually seen yet. So if you look at this, we were trying to figure out what all of this is, because it looks like a bunch of things garbled in between. This over here on this side, this is Frederick Douglass. Here's Frederick Douglass's eye. This is his nose. Okay, this is his beard. You can kind of see a little bit of his mouth or his lip. Okay, and then here's his other eye. And I was wondering, why does he have, it looks like a baseball cap turned backwards, but that's not what that is. Okay, now someone was saying there's also Marcus Garvey in it, and I could not see it. We tried for a while, and even after the live stream, I was trying to figure it out. But if you look over here, this is Marcus Garvey. Here, this is his bottom lip. This is his top lip. This is his, I guess, kind of like an outline of a nose, and this is like one of his eyes. Okay, so this is one of his eyes right here. This is a top lip, bottom lip, and this would be just a portion of his nose. And it's really a poor design. This is his right cheek, at least on my side. It's his right cheek. It may be flipped around for you guys. Okay, right cheek, top lip, bottom lip, nose, eye right here. Can y'all see that? Okay, now some of you guys may not be able to see it. That's okay. Let me do this. So I have another. This is what X Freeman sent me. You might be able to see it clearly now. Here's Frederick Douglass on this side, which makes sense. Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey. Here's Marcus Garvey on this side. His lips, nose, and this would be part of his eye. Okay, some of you guys may see that. Some of you may not see that. But when I was looking at this, I saw something else in addition to this. Okay, so what I'm saying is that, yes, in fact, that's Frederick Douglass in this mark. It's just it's a horrible design. It's like bootleg. Okay. I saw something else. And so I want to pull up the original and let me come back to it here. Okay, this is Frederick Douglass on this side. This is Marcus Garvey on this side, but there is something here in the middle. And what this is an eye right here, and this is another eye right here. This is the nose of a gorilla. Can you guys see it? This is an eye, the nose of a gorilla. What all this is up here is just the top of the head of the gorilla. See, we may think that the biggest image in here is Frederick Douglass, but it's not, and it's definitely not Marcus Garvey. The biggest image is actually King Kong. This would be Umar, which fits in perfectly with his narcissism. So this what I thought was a cap. It's not a cap at all. What it is it's the rest of the head of the gorilla. This is his eye. This would be his right eye. This would be his left eye. This would be his nose. And then down here would be, I guess, would be the mouth. Someone also said this could be something else too, but I don't see it that way. I see it as Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass, and then King Kong, which would be Umar. And this is one of the original FDMG locals. There's a couple of other ones I don't think most people have seen, and I'll be presenting that inside the documentary too. I'll probably share it with members as well. All right, so I just want to break that down, and thanks, X Freeman, for clarifying that. And as soon as when you highlighted it, I said, "Oh, there it is." But then I started looking. I said, "Wait a minute, there's a gorilla in here too," and the gorilla would be Umar, okay, because he's on that level. All right, yeah, King Kong. Yeah, it does look unfinished, but it's poor. It's just poor. That's all I can say. How's it going, Amira? How's it going, guys? Little Princess and Sequoia, thank you for being here. And Black Mario's in the building. Yeah, he had to put himself in the image because he's on that level. All right. Lenon, did you hear about the passing of Frankie Beverly? No, I didn't hear about that. Yeah, I have one of his songs. You guys know one of my favorite songs. In fact, I have them on my Spotify liked playlist. A great musician, very positive musician too. A lot of his work was very uplifting and positive. So rest in peace to Frankie Beverly. Brother Marion, that was one of his favorite artists, and he passed away too. But it just came to mind just now. Was one of this because he used to play. What was it? Right? We are one. That song. Yeah. Yeah, I have that saved on my Spotify playlist. Rest in peace to Frankie Beverly. Yeah, we're not getting any younger, everyone. You know, so we got to make sure that we seize the day and we're appreciative of what we do have. It's a big lesson for me this year. All right. He has some other good songs too, but that's the main song that I listen to. Yeah, rest in peace to Frankie Beverly. All right, let's continue with Umar. Here we go.
In Asia, the South Pacific, Australia, my Costa Rica, Suriname Africans, my Panama, Brazil Africans, brothers and sisters. First of all, I want to say happy Ethiopian New Year to all my Ethiopian brothers and sisters. Make some noise. Where are all my Ethiopian brothers and sisters at one time? Where are all my Ethiopian brothers and sisters at one time? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Addis Ababa, Bahir Dar, Lalibela, Aksum. Where are all my Ethiopian Africans on this Ethiopian New Year? Where are all of my Ethiopian Africans on this Ethiopian New Year? 911 is Ethiopian New Year, brothers and sisters. Happy Ethiopian New Year. But this is what I want to say.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what?
I'm not finished watching. I have not yet finished watching the entire debate.
Okay, well, then you shouldn't even speak on it. You probably haven't watched any of it, but you're going to run your mouth anyway. I watched it 3 times before I did the show earlier today. It's called doing your due diligence. But Umar, you're going to get up here and you're going to run your mouth. That's what you do. By the way, everyone, did you know that today is the anniversary of FDMG opening? This was in January of 2010, January 6, 2010. Umar stated on his Facebook page, promises in 2010 to begin laying the groundwork for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Pan-African School for Black Boys, specializing in learning disabilities and disruptive behavior disorders. This will be a private school, and yes, you will pay in order for your son to attend. The grand opening was set for September 11, 2013. Today, September 11, 2024, and the school is still not open. This school is now 11 years late. But he sure would get up here inside of hotel motels and spending people's money that sent him money to open up a school. He sure will sit up there and talk about something. And he ain't even watched the debate, not one time. I watched some of it. You probably ain't watched none of it, but you're going to run your mouth. You need to watch it at least one time. I would prefer 2. I watched it 3 times. But you're going to get up here and inside this hotel motel. Who's paying for this hotel motel? The donors. Now, granted, sometimes when people have them come out to speak or to do interviews, they will pay for it. But the vast majority of the time, Umar is spending money where he doesn't have a speaking engagement. He's spending, or he doesn't have an interview where he's spending money from the coffers of this quote unquote FDMG school scam. You know, tricked off so much money. This school is officially today. FDMG is 11 years late. Let's go.
I probably saw about 1 hour of the
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. You probably saw about 5-10 minutes. Knowing you always lying.
debate. But one thing should be absolutely clear to the American African branch of the Universal African Kingdom. One thing should be absolutely clear
The Universal
to all
African
members
Queen.
of the American African village of the Universal African Kingdom. And that one thing that should be clear to all American Africans, so far from what I've saw.
Listen, Mary Estia, the vast majority of what Umar says about black people is negative. But let's go point by point here. Do you think that although you're calling Dr. Umar, I don't call him mad. I think he has some serious mental health issues. I do know that he's a habitual liar and that he's a scam artist and a charlatan. Okay, so it's not about calling him, and I can pull up facts and receipts to prove all of this to be the case. Okay, I have all the receipts. Just like I said that it's 11 years late, I just pulled up it's 11 years late. That's a scam. It's a school scam. See, it doesn't matter what a person says. It matters what he does. But if you want to look at what he says, the vast majority of what he says about black people is overwhelmingly negative. He's going to say some negative things about black people inside of this particular. I guarantee you, because he always does it. See? So do you think that although you are calling Dr. Umar, I'm not calling him mad. Okay, so let's get the terminology correct. He has spoken a great degree of truth pertaining to black people about how unorganized we really are. But you see the mentality right there. That's the problem. They're having this overwhelmingly negative view about black people and then casting this wide net that we're all disorganized and it's dooms and woes me and you know, we're down and out and it's the victim mentality. That's the problem in the first place. And it's not specific to black people. The other thing is just because Umar's ass is disorganized doesn't mean that all black people, isn't it interesting? Umar is the most disorganized person. He can't organize his plate to put peas on one side and put cornbread on the other. What has Umar organized over the last 20 years? And I'm not going at you. I just want to be clear about this mentality, because this is the problem mentality. This is why you Umar Johnson followers, you guys really need to check yourself, because Umar either expects you to have this mentality or he will program you to have this victimhood mentality and that black people ain't shit. But it's not a statement of fact. See, Umar's rhetoric is really rooted in racist ideologies that white racist people used to have about black people. He just reiterates it. And let me tell y'all something, and I'm not saying all, but the vast majority of Umar Johnson followers, you want to hear Umar talk shit about black people. It's not productive. There's nothing about it that's uplifting. It makes you feel good because you want to see a black man talk shit about other black people. And then when people criticize Umar for it, you guys say what? Oh, look, you're trying to tear a black man down. But if you listen to Umar, the vast majority of what he says about black people is disrespectful towards black people. He disrespects black children. He disrespects black women. He'll disrespect the elders. He'll disrespect black men. He will say things like, you know, how we are so unorganized. But what has Umar Johnson organized? What black people need to organize in the first place is their affairs in terms of male-female relationships in their family institutions. Is Umar doing that? Huh? You guys tell me, you Umar Johnson followers. I'm not going off. I just want you guys to be clear about this. That whatever you say, when you say things like, well, Umar said that black people are this, most of the time when Umar is talking, he's just projecting. He's really talking about himself. I've given so many examples of this over the years. He's projecting, that's all. But he wants to put all of this negativity and this demeaning rhetoric and black people ain't shit. Really, he's talking about himself, but he puts it on all black people. And you Umar Johnson followers, listen, you guys eat that up. That's your problem. You guys got a problem. You need to cut it out. He rarely has anything uplifting to say. The vast majority of what he says about black people is disrespectful. It's a statement of fact. Prove me wrong. I want any of you Umar Johnson followers, I want you to pull up 5 videos where in these 5 videos, Umar says something positive about black people 10 times without saying but, and then start talking shit. Do it. Just give me 5. I've seen hundreds of Umar Johnson videos. I want you to find 5. And within these 5 videos, I want you to give me 10 examples. Hell, excuse me. I don't mean to use that word. Give me 5 examples of Umar talking positively about black people. And then he doesn't say but, and then starts talking negative. I'll wait. You can't do it. I've seen all of the videos. Well, I can't say all the videos. I've seen 95% of Umar Johnson videos. Going all the way back to 2009. It's not 95%. It's closer to 90%. I got to be fair. You can't provide me with those receipts, but I can pull up a video right now, and I can do it randomly. I can pull up a video in the archive. I can pull up a random video of Umar Johnson, and I guarantee you he's going to be disparaging black people. So really quickly, this isn't personal, but you Umar Johnson followers need to check yourself, because either you already have this negative view about black people and you cast these aspersions on all black people, just like white racists used to do, or you didn't have that mentality and that victim mentality and defeatist and woe's me and black people ain't shit mentality. You didn't have it, but now you have it because you've been listening to Umar for too long. And that's exactly how he's programmed you to be. This is a statement of fact. Okay, so real quick, do you think that although you're calling Dr. Umar mad, never called him mad? Now, is he mental? He's definitely mental, but he's also a scammer, a charlatan, a liar, and he's also a deadbeat. All of the negative racial stereotypes that Umar projects onto other people, other black people, it's really him. Has he spoken a great degree of truth pertaining to black people about how unorganized we really are? Okay, now you might be unorganized and you might want to fit into that, and that's, you want to include we, that's you, it ain't me. And I guarantee you that there's plenty of people here in the Cookie Crush chat today that we wouldn't consider ourselves to be disorganized. In fact, I'm quite organized. Now, the real question is Umar organized? And the answer is no, not at all. In fact, he has a very difficult time even organizing his thoughts. That's why when he starts to talk, he's talking about all kinds of shit. He's all over the place. The premise is wrong. The mentality is wrong in the first place. Correct the premise, correct the mentality. Otherwise, you're just going to be following along with the okie doke, and you're going to repeat verbatim what Umar Johnson said, and you're going to believe that somehow this is uplifting to black people. It's not uplifting to black people. How is it that they're disparaging black people and talking shit about every single black person that comes out of his mouth? How is that uplifting black people? Y'all. Matter of fact, Marriott, here. I'll do this. This is just for you. Here is, you can call into the stream. Okay, you don't have to get up on camera or any of that stuff. But I just want to ask you one question. How is it possible that disrespecting black people at every turn is uplifting to black people? I'll wait. Okay. See, we have a problem. These people who follow Umar, you want to hear people talk shit about Umar. And I'm going to tell you guys, some of you who enjoy that, you do it because it makes you feel better about where you're at in life. It's not upward bound. Okay, a lot of these people who tune into Umar and they call him for these booty, I'm sorry, these black parent conference, whatever he calls these shits. A lot of these people are downtrodden. They're in situations wherein they're down and out. They're struggling. I've been there myself. But they're desperate. They're desperate. They don't know what to do with their children. They don't know how to handle certain situations, and so they call Umar out of all people. So they're already in a bad situation. So, and a lot of them, they want to hear this negative race talk about black people because it makes them feel better. Well, I'm not that bad. All these other black people, they're disorganized. All of them, they're all criminals, and they don't take care of their kids. But that's all Umar. You got Umar just projected, and you guys take it and you run with it, and it makes you feel better about yourself. But I'll ask the question, Maria Tia. Con carnaches. I'll ask the question, how does it uplift black people to disparage black people at every single turn. I'll wait. I'm not waiting any longer. See, you want John's father, y'all a trip. You put words in my mouth. You say things that I didn't say. And then when I ask a basic question, it shows that the logic is, it's not logical. The premise is incorrect in the first place. See, black people are not, we're not just so organized. Who are, I mean, what are you, I mean, what is this? Is this white supremacist talk or what? Plenty of us black people are organized. I do know this, Umar's not organized. So what are you talking about, ma'am? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Okay. Let's get into the show. Okay. HVAC Man 23 says, Media Man talks about Umar on his channel. You and him are the only ones who will whip the hide off of Umar. I don't like calling people simps. It's not right. But I understand. Foobar. Why do people call Umar Foobar? Why do people do that? It's not, I don't like that. Thanks, HVAC Man 2023. Shaka Zulu's in the building. Okay. And I think you're talking about Information Man. Shout out to Information Man. Okay. I don't know if he's here or not. Thanks for the super chat as well. Okay. So she wants to call. Okay. Now listen, let me tell you something. You have to answer the question. I don't want to hear you going off about Umar and supporting Umar. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear how it's possible that to disrespect and demean black people at every turn is somehow uplifting black people. And once you answer that, then we can proceed. Okay, here's the link right here. Okay, that's not the same person. Other people are trying to call. This has to be, who is the person's name again? I can't even remember the person's name. What was the person's name? Mahdi or something? It has to be that same person, because otherwise then people gonna call and be everybody. Now they went off. That's somebody else. Okay, if you want to call in later, you're welcome to do it. It's Maria Stia. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. Here we go.
Neither party, neither candidate, neither platform, neither agenda is concerned at all about the plight or the blight of the American African people. Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the Prince of Pan-Africanism is saying to you right now?
Go ahead.
Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the Prince of Pan-Africanism is saying to you? Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the Prince of Pan-Africanism is saying to you? They didn't touch on nothing that was critically relevant to the American African people.
Yeah,
now,
over and under.
The Democratic Party plantation slaves and the Republican Party plantation slaves, they're going to try to exaggerate the things that were said in an attempt to keep you in the illusion of inclusion. They're going to take out things that Donald Trump said, the Republican Party plantation slaves. And the Democratic Party plantation slaves, they're going to take out little sound bites from Kamala Harris, and they're going to blow those up. They're going to magnify certain talking points. They're going to magnify them by 100 times in size to try to make the American African family believe that Kamala Harris was somehow talking to you. They're going to try to make the American African family believe that somehow former President Trump was talking to you. Neither one of them addressed anything that was relevant to African people. Now, don't get me.
Okay, listen. Healthcare is relevant, and I'm going to explain the psychology of this, is why Umar thinks this way. Healthcare is important to Black people. Taxes are important to Black people. Abortion is important. Abortion rights, I should say, is important to Black people, are important to Black people. The list goes on and on and on. Getting the economy back on track is important to Black people. So what is the psychology here? Why is it that Umar feels as if somehow Black people should expect some special message or some special privilege from these candidates, some special dispensation, some special discourse that is specific to them. Well, this ties to this whole victim mentality. Woe's me, I'm down and out, and they need to address my issues. The vast majority of the issues that we deal with as Black people, we can solve them ourselves. That's what I want people to understand. Same thing for white people or any other group of people. The vast majority of the issues, all issues, no, that's not what I'm saying. But Umar expects that somehow Black people are going to be given this special dispensation, and that for whatever reason, we're so special that these candidates are going to be specifically talking to us. That's not how it works. It never works that way. They're trying to get votes. They're not trying to alienate other groups of people or any group of people. Did I hear Kamala Harris say anything specific that she was going to do for, let's say, the Latinos during this debate? No. Did I hear? Maybe she did. I don't remember, and I watched it 3 times. You correct me if I'm wrong. Did I hear Trump say anything specific about Latinos, specific that he was going to do in terms of an agenda, keyword agenda, that he was going to do specific for Latinos? I didn't hear that either. Did I hear them say anything about that specifically they're going to do for white people? No. Asians? No, I didn't hear any of that. So why is it that somehow Black people, for Umar's mentality, it's really ridiculous if you ask me. Why should he expect that somehow these candidates are going to be specifically talking to Black? That's not what they're doing. They're trying to get votes. If they got up there and said, I'm going to specifically do this for white people, they're going to lose a lot of votes. If they're going to get up there and say, I'm going to specifically do this for Black people, they're going to lose a lot of votes. But the mentality is one that is of disempowerment, that somehow there is someone who's going to save Black people because we're so disorganized and, we don't know what we're doing and we're in destitute, all of us. Some of us are messed up, but not all of us. And then guess what? The mentality actually puts Umar in the position where he becomes the solution. There you go. Now, whatever he says is the answer because they're not talking to you, but I'm going to talk with you. Meanwhile, this homeless bum is sitting inside of a motel room, hasn't even watched the presidential debate, and yet he got everything to say. What's his name didn't call. I put the link up there again. See, notice I don't get up here and disparage Black people. I'll be honest about certain things, but I'm not going to say all Black people. Rarely do I say that. I don't even think I've ever said that. All Black people are this way, and we're all disorganized. See, Umar is so used to disparaging Black people that you Umar Johnson followers, I don't mean to belabor this, but you hear it and you've heard it so much that now it's a baseline. Let me disrespect and disparage Black people. And then you say, well, you have to agree that what he says about how Black people ain't shit, that it's really, okay, here we go. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that rhetoric, and I don't agree with the mentality that allows that rhetoric to exist. You guys got to check your mentality in the first place. I'm not belaboring this. I'm not trying to, and I apologize if I'm offending anyone. But if you're going to get up here and say some bullshit, just be clear. You better back it up. And you can't back up the mentality because the mentality is that of disempowerment. And that's precisely why Umar thinks that somehow we're privileged. Why would someone think, it's the illogic. Why would you think that somehow we're privileged and someone is going to have to speak directly to you because you ain't shit? You guys understand what I'm saying? Because that could be interpreted the wrong way. If Black people ain't shit, then why would Black people expect these candidates to speak directly to them? That's why I'm saying the premise is faulty in the first place. It's illogical. And it's wrong because it's not that all Black people, listen, it's just crazy. I'm gonna let it go. I'll let it go. All right, let's get back to the video.
Wrong. I believe they have another debate or 2 to go. And they might get desperate in the final days and throw American Africans a verbal political bone. You might get thrown a couple of chicken bones in the final debate. You might get thrown some watermelon rind in the final debate. You might get
you see the white racist rhetoric. I'm talking about the racists from back in the day. What did they say about Black people? You guys all love fried chicken. So what did he say? Chicken bone. You guys all eat watermelon, right? Well, they're going to throw you some watermelon rind. You guys see this? Hit the one. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I've already proved my point, and we ain't even but a few minutes into this video. Umar rarely says, and sometimes it's coded, but he always disparages black people. Umar rarely says anything about positive about black people, and most of what he says about black people is based upon negative racial stereotypes that white supremacists had about black people. And then you want to say that all white people are racist. Most white people don't think like that anymore. That's in the past. But guess what? Umar's ass still thinks like that. Y'all see it? Well, I don't eat I don't eat meat, but I do like watermelon. I got some up over here right now. I ain't gonna lie about it. It's overripe though, so I'm gonna throw it out. But I eat some of it because I don't want to waste it. Hey, Cash, you don't see it. I'll play it again. Cash, hold on. How's it going, other kid? What's up, Star Seeker? Let me play it again. And Umar, this is not uncommon. He does this quite a bit. You guys just have to listen out for it. Watch this.
Political bone. You might get thrown. President Trump was talking to you. Neither one of them addressed anything that was relevant to African people. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe they have another debate or two to go. And they might get desperate in the final days and throw American Africans a verbal political bone. You might get thrown a couple of chicken bones in.
See? You see this? Watch.
In the final debate. You might get thrown some watermelon rind in the final debate. You might get thrown some pork chop scraps.
Oh my God. If I had a wig, it would fall off. It would just fall off. Here's another one. See? What's up, 100% real man? Pork chops. What do we got? We got fried chicken. We got watermelon and pork chop. This guy don't stop. It ain't funny. I ain't laughing. It ain't funny. Okay? Listen, if a white person said this about black people, now it's Black Lives Matter time. But you let Umar see Maria T or whatever it was from earlier today. This is what I was talking about. He said pork chops. He gonna end it there. He ain't gonna keep going. That's because he likes to do stuff in threes. That's Umar. Okay. He like to eat in the morning. He like to eat at 9 a.m., 10, 11. I'm just playing. Lunch, 12, 1, and 2. All right. Dinner, 6, 7, and 8. After dinner, 12, 11, 12. I'm just playing. Yeah. You better put the applesauce in there. I love this applesauce. Someone said sweet potato skins. He better not say butter biscuits now. Don't be talking on some butter biscuits, okay? He better not talk about no butter biscuits. Yeah. He may get you some 40 ounces. Hey, may, see? What are you talking about? They gonna get you some collard greens. They gonna make them in a tub, family. They gonna make them in a tub like Kamala Harris. And her grandmama did. Anyway, whatever. She was lying. Kamala Harris, you didn't make no greens inside no tub. Cut it out. You need to stop it. It's so ridiculous. You gonna make collard greens in the tub up in Toronto. Anyway, let's go. 3 scoops of ice cream. Who are you tripping? Yeah, he is. He's very reckless. That's one thing about Umar is that he's reckless. Okay. All right. Yeah. Chitterling. I like, Umar. How he said they're gonna send you some chitterlings. I said Umar is chitlins. No, we don't talk like that here. We're going to get some chitterlings. We get some chitterlings for the childrens. Who are you? Wow. All right. Okay, let me get up out of here. No, he's gonna stop right here. Okay. Don't say Newports. Yeah, your mom's throw on some Newports as well lately. You know, all the stereotypes. We're just gonna get them all out now, okay? Yes, he's so disrespectful. We're gonna be in the tub washing and clean chitterlings. We're gonna be doing while we do the greens. The green is gonna be on the left side. The chitterling is gonna be on the right side of the tub. Family, we working. All right, let me get out this chat room. This is hog mog as well. We also have some special order. Okay. This is so racist. You guys are so racist. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, Maria Stia's here. Please make sure you don't put your. Can you do it without putting your webcam on you? There you go. Okay. And that's more to the best of my ability, keep you protected and keep you safe. Okay, because I don't want people going back at you. Okay, so let's bring on Maria Stia to see. And the question, what was the question? The question is, how does speaking poorly or disrespectful? No, how does disrespecting, demeaning Black people uplift Black people? Okay, we'll start there. And we can go on after that, but let's see if you can answer that question. Here we go.
Can you hear me?
How's it going? Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a Dr. Umarite, so to speak. Okay? I've been listening
Okay,
to you.
Okay, listen, the question is specifically, this is the question I want you to address. How is speaking poorly and negatively about Black people uplifting to Black people?
It isn't.
Okay, well, we're done. The only question I would raise here, and that's why I was saying that your premise was faulty in the first place. Okay, we're dealing with logic here. Okay, it's really nothing else we can discuss. But since you called in, let me ask you this. If there's no benefit to a Black person speaking poorly and demeaning other Black people, why do you defend Umar Johnson?
I asked you a question, and I said that.
Okay, no. Wait, hold on. I just asked you a question. I'll ask it again. Did you hear the question?
Yes. And can you?
Okay. Hold on. I expect an answer. That's how we're going to do this. Okay. So answer the question, please. Go ahead.
I'm trying to give you one. I don't see demeaning Black people as a positive element.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, because that's not answering my second question. Let me ask you this. What country are you in, sir?
I'm in the UK.
Okay. See, that's another one of the problems. See, whatever you may be dealing with in the UK, whatever you may think that it is, it's not the same as what we're dealing with over here in the United States of America. And that's what I would propose, that that's one of the reasons why that there are people who will accept Umar Johnson's rhetoric and even defend it, even though they will admit that the rhetoric is backwards, that to demean Black people, and I'm talking about Black people here in the United States of America. Let's be clear about this. See, it's easier for someone from another country who's not here in the United States of America to accept Umar as some sort of leader, or, you know, he has all these wonderful things to say about Black people, or the truth that he says about how Black people are organized. When you say Black people, Umar, when he's talking about Black people, even though he's talking Pan-Africanism, he is specifically talking about Black people here in the United States of America. He's not talking about you, sir. So that's why it's easier for you to accept that. And that's why it's a problem when you have people from other countries. See, Umar's not running through your women over there like he's running through Black women up over here. See, Umar's not disparaging you European, quote unquote, what he calls European Africans over there. He's not telling you that you guys are going to get some chicken wings or a fried chicken or watermelon rinds or pork chops. That's not what it is. See, those are all racial epithets that are racialized ideas that come specifically here in the United States of America. You can't relate to that, sir. You can't. Now, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to explain to me why following Umar is beneficial to you specifically, not to Black people here in the United States of America, but to you specifically as someone who's over there in Europe. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, sir. Please go.
and I'm following you as well. Not only do I listen to Umar,
I'm going, no, that's besides the point. It doesn't matter whether you're following me. I'm not trying to tell, I'm not telling black people what they need to do. I'm not raising millions of dollars to open up a fake school. I'm not out here running through black women and sexually exploiting black women. That's not, and I'm not talking with all these racialized thoughts and ideas that really are sourced from Jim Crow. That's not what I'm doing here. So no, you're not following me. Okay, let's be clear about that. Okay, I'm asking you a specific question. I would like for you to take 30 seconds to explain why it is that Umar is important to you, how he benefits you specifically as a black person in the UK. I'll give you 30 seconds, sir. Now I got to move on. Let's go.
I think you should just move on because you keep muting me. You're not giving me an opportunity to speak.
Well, no, listen. Every time I ask you a question, you're not answering the question. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to answer the question. Do I need to ask the question again?
No.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to answer the question, sir. Please don't talk about anything else. Just answer the question. You got 30 seconds to explain how Umar Johnson benefits you as a black person in the UK, specifically you. We're not talking about black people here in the United States of America. Okay, we're talking about you specifically in the UK. Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I haven't got nothing to say because in effect you keep.
All right. What else do I have to do? Give me a sec. I'm gonna change out my batteries. I'm gonna give you just a few seconds to think about this. All you have to do is to answer the question. And matter of fact, I will give you 1 minute to answer the question. You have 1 minute to specifically explain to me and to the audience how it is that Umar Johnson, his rhetoric specifically benefits you as a black person in the UK. I'm going to give you 1 minute, sir. Please. Here you go.
As far as I'm concerned, there are positive and negative things in what he says. He shouldn't be demeaning people, and that is not just in the US, that is all over the world, because he demeans people here as well.
Listen,
and when you talk
I don't want to hear about the demeaning stuff. We know that. I'm specifically asking you what positive things that Umar brings to the table for you specifically in the UK as a black person. That's it. Okay. If you can answer that, I give you a minute. Let's go.
Okay, you're pointing me in a direction, and when I'm trying to speak, you keep muting the mic. So I would appreciate it. I do appreciate it's your show, but if you're going to keep muting the mic,
you sound like Umar. I gave you a minute. First, I gave you 30 seconds. Now I'm giving you a minute. I'm specifically asking you, and this is what I expect an answer to. Listen, just give me 3 things. Okay, because that's more, you should be able to cover 3 things in a minute without talking about other stuff. Give me 3 ways. Okay, give me 5 ways. Give me 5 ways that Umar has benefited you specifically as a black person in the UK. I don't want to hear about how bad Umar is or he shouldn't be disrespecting. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear 5 things in 1 minute, 20 seconds each. 5 things, specific things that Umar has done for you or said that has benefited you specifically as a black person in the UK. Okay, don't talk about other stuff. Don't say I'm muting. I don't want to hear all that. This is your time. You have the stage. I'm gonna mute myself. You have 1 minute, sir. Go ahead.
Positive and negative. Number one, I don't know anybody else across the world who's trying to build a school. If he's doing it in the wrong way, then you have every right to say what you're saying.
Okay. Has Umar built the school?
No.
Have there been other black people who have built schools for black people?
What, in England or in the US?
It doesn't matter anywhere, because we're specifically talking about you in the UK. We're not even talking about here in the United States of America. Are there any other black people on the planet, I'll say on the planet, who's built a school for black people?
In England, there was a school that wasn't even built by Umar, and it got shut down because it didn't get supported. Now, at the end of the day, as far as I see it, if a school like that was to open up and it was supported by black people, that would be a positive step. So that's one positive thing that he has done for me. Made me think.
Okay, wait a minute. Has Umar opened a school?
You said you was going to give me 1 minute, uninterrupted.
No. I'm asking you, did Umar open up a school?
Well, not as yet, no.
Okay, no. Hold on. If Umar didn't open up a school, how are you going to use that as the premise to say that somehow schools are being opened up, but they have to have support? Umar's had all the support that he needs and needed to. Let me ask you another question. How much money has Umar raised up to this point?
Another question. Let me answer the first one. Yeah.
How much money has Umar Johnson raised up to this point, sir?
Lenon, before you ask me a second question, at least give me an opportunity to answer the first one.
Okay,
yeah?
Now let's go back to this. Okay, there's no point. Let's go back to this. Give me 5 things that Umar Johnson has said in his rhetoric about Black people that is disparaging, that has benefited you as a Black person in the UK. Go ahead.
Positive influence with regard to the school, which is not built yet, but in effect, what he's done is made a sound out to the people who are serious, who can do it. That's a positive. The way he deals with
No. It's not a positive. It's not a positive to take millions of dollars out of from Black people around the world, not open up a school, pocket the vast majority of that money, and then somehow that inspires other Black people to do the job that Umar promised that he would do. Do you understand that this school today, on this day, the irony of this, sir, the irony on today marks the 11-year anniversary of the school grand opening date that never happened. This school is 11 years late. How does that benefit you, sir?
Can I speak without you muting me and interrupting me? Because that's all you've been.
No. Hold on. I'm asking you questions, and they're legitimate questions. It's not interrupting you. See, if you say something and the premise is faulty, I'm going to check you on that. Now, would you like for me to give you a minute and me not respond for a minute, even though your premise is faulty? Is that what you want?
This is faulty. Then let me embarrass myself. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that. No. I'm not going to do that, sir. See, Umar. I mean, if you really think about it, if Umar has reduced his followers for them to be willing to get online and embarrass themselves, no, that's not acceptable. And I don't want to embarrass you. I'm explaining to you, or at least I'm trying to get you to think. That's really what this is. Your premise is faulty, sir. Okay. Again, let's go back this time around, I'm not going to stop you at all. I'm going to let you go ahead and I hope that you don't embarrass yourself, because that's not what I want anyone to do. Okay. And I feel bad now, because for you to say that, for you to have to say that, it's sad. I'm going to give you 1 minute, and I'm not going to respond to anything that you say. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write down some notes. And after I'm done with the notes, I'm going to respond point by point. What I'd like for you to answer specifically is, how does Umar Johnson's negative rhetoric about Black people here in the United States of America, how does that benefit you as a Black person in the UK? I'm going to give you a minute, and I won't respond. I won't mute you. I'm just going to let it roll. I'm going to take notes. Go ahead, sir.
Lenon, I already answered you and told you that what he's doing is not a positive thing when he's downgrading his own people. But one of the things that he has shown that is positive is, if there are bodies, i.e. Black millionaires, who can pull the resources together to actually create a school, irrespective of Dr. Umar or not, I believe that to be a positive thing. And also, you may slate the man, but he has got those degrees, because I've checked it out. You yourself have checked it out. So if a man is talking on a type of level that is looking after children, that's another positive thing, whether we like him or not. I don't think everything he says is positive. I believe some of the things he says are very negative towards his own people. But there are positive things that he says. You have to pick the sense out of the nonsense. So for me, one of them is the school, because there are Black millionaires around the world who could make contributions to seriously lifting up our race with regards to schools. And secondly, with regard to the implement of child abuse, etc., that Black children are facing in schools. And that's just not in the US. That's in England as well, because they are facing the same tribulation in England. And if there was somebody like him with regards to the doctorate or the qualifications that he had that was fighting for our people in England, it would be another positive thing. So don't get me twisted. I don't think that everything he does is a righteous bust. Yeah. And on top of that, right now, he shouldn't be speaking about the likes of Sanders and the rest of those people. But in reality, when you do look, there are people, not just in the States, not just in the UK, but once they make their wealth, it's all about F you, I'm rich. Yeah. And we need more black people, yeah, who are rich to come into the circles, regardless of how small or large they may be, and fund those circles in order to help their own people. So that's me. I'm not an advocate or a follower of Dr.
Okay,
Umar.
okay,
I listen to
okay.
him
Now,
and
okay. Okay. I think I've given you more than a minute. I get the gist of it. If you don't mind, for clarity's sake, you said he should not be speaking on the likes of. I think you said Sanders. Who is that exactly? Are you talking about Deion Sanders?
correct.
Okay, okay. Let me, because I just want to make sure when I respond to this that I have, I can respond intelligently. I gotta have all the pieces. Let me just look back here. Yeah, you brought up child abuse in schools. Do you want to give me a specific examples of what you mean by child abuse?
Well, with regards to ADHD, there's a lot
Hmm.
of it. There's a lot of it happening over in the
Okay,
UK.
what else? Yeah, but what else? Yeah, what else? ADHD.
ADHD, lack of learning, um, children getting excited. There's a specific word for it, but where the children get excited, can't contain themselves. There's no teachers over here who can quell that passion with regards to excitement within a child. They can't focus the child's mind.
Okay,
Over
yeah,
in England, this is
yeah.
happening.
I understand. Okay, and you're speaking to this issue of ADHD. Anything else besides ADHD would you would consider to be child abuse in schools?
Some of the children are getting hit over here, and
Okay,
I
what
take
do
it.
you mean by hit? You're gonna have to give me an example. What do you mean by hit?
You know, in a classroom, and a teacher can't get through to a child, they put their
Hmm.
hand on the child. That's what's
Okay,
happening over here as well. And you know,
okay,
if there was a body of black governing body, there's no black governing body over here to prevent stuff like that going on. I don't know about the States, but over here, there's not a black governing body that can monitor how teachers treat children. And I believe within myself that if there was somebody over here who had Dr. Umar's qualifications, unlike him, actually slating his own people, but if there was somebody over here standing up for those children, yeah, then it would be a totally different matter. A totally different matter. Also,
okay. But
focus.
hold on. But you do realize that Umar's not doing that over here.
Okay, if you say that,
No, no, no,
I'm
no,
not
no, 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 no. Hold on, hold on.
100%
I'm not.
sure
Hold
about
on,
that.
hold on. I'm not going to mute you. You do realize that Umar is not in the school system over here making that level of impact. You do realize that, correct?
Yet through you, I do. Yes,
No,
I
no, no.
told you I
This is a
listened to your show. No, Lenon,
okay.
I
This is a
listened to your
state. No,
show.
hold on. Okay, hold on. This is a statement of fact. Umar does not work in the school system. He was fired over a decade ago, and his reputation precedes him. They will not hire Umar.
But that does not take away the fact that he has the qualification. Now,
Okay, now this. Hold on. This is the next thing I want to ask you, and I have it as point number 7. What qualifications, current qualifications, does Umar Johnson have so that you would perceive him to be some sort of authority in these regards?
well, does he not have a PhD in child psychology?
Okay, that's not a qualification. That's a degree. Okay, I'm talking about qualifications. Anyone can get a degree. I'm talking about what qualifies him.
The fact that he has a PhD and he's spoken. The fact that he has a PhD and he's spoken to mothers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've
Okay,
seen shows where he's
okay,
actually advised mothers, yeah, to do
yes,
things, and those things
I've.
have been done. But what I'm
Okay, hold
saying
on.
to you, Lenon,
Hold
please.
on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I can pull up a video right now where Umar's advice to a black mother here in the United States of America, not over there in the UK. See, this is one of the disconnects that you have to understand. He gave advice to a black mother over here, and she made some terrible decisions that not only impacted her child in a negative way, but also caused damage to her relationships that she had to her husband, the child's father. Are you aware of that, sir? I can pull it up. Are you aware of that?
There was an incident I was aware of where there was a discrepancy. Yes, yeah, but I'm not sure it would be the same instance. If not, that would make it 2 instances.
Okay,
but Lenon, I think you missed.
Hold on. This is a brother that was in Chicago. Have you seen that particular video? He's from Chicago, Illinois.
No, I haven't seen that one. No.
Okay, all right. So let's stop there, because I have a show to run. Okay, I've given you plenty of time. If you don't mind, I want to go point by point. And in essence, you have 9 points here. I'm going to go over these, and I'm going to try to get through it in less than 3 minutes. And I may ask you a question if you can answer the question as quickly as possible, so I can get back onto the show. I think it's safe to say that you have admitted that Umar's negative rhetoric about African Americans or black people here in the United States of America does not benefit you as a black person in the UK. However, in your initial statement here in the chat room, and I'm paraphrasing, you were stating that we have to admit the quote unquote, or I'm paraphrasing, the value that Umar presents about how black people are so disorganized. Understand that when Umar's talking about black people being disorganized, the vast majority of his rhetoric is directed at black people. That's why he says things like fried chicken. He says things like eating watermelon. He says things like pork chops. Okay, this is all rooted in racism, specifically here in the United States of America, not over there in the UK. Okay, so I just want to be clear that your premise was faulty in the beginning. Not only did I prove that it was faulty, but you also agreed into it in the end. Now we get to the 9 points that you came up with here. You did say, and let me say this, that you did say, and I agree with this, that it's not positive when he disparages or downgrades black people. I agree with that, but it also causes your initial premise to be faulty. Number 2, I need my other glasses. You said black millionaires need to support the school, or they will be inspired to support a school, and that this will be a positive outcome of Umar Johnson's rhetoric about opening up a school. Okay, this is faulty too, and let me explain why. Because Umar hasn't opened up a school, and Umar has received millions of dollars. I would estimate $2.6, $2.7 million on a low end. This is say that he could have had something up and running. He acquired these buildings in 2019. Here we are now in 2024, 5.5 years later. There's still no school. The real way to look at this, and the more I think logical way to look at this, is what millionaire would want to support Umar or any a black organization that is trying to open up a school, when Umar is a preeminent example of someone who's gotten worldwide attention, including people over in the UK, and he hasn't even done it, even though he's received millions of dollars. Okay. Now, this is part of Umar's rhetoric. They're not supporting me. The black millionaires aren't supporting. Why would they support Umar? He doesn't have a team. He doesn't have a board of directors. He doesn't have an accountant. And I go on and on and on. Okay. Let me continue. Number 3, he has degrees. Let me ask you, what degrees does Umar Johnson have?
Have you unmuted me?
Yeah, what degrees does Umar Johnson have? First of all, how many degrees does Umar have?
We've already gone through that, buddy.
No, I'm asking you I'm asking you a specific question. Hold on.
When I listen to
specific
the show,
question. Hold on, specific question.
I listen to you,
listen, I'm not going to go back and forth. What I told you was that I was going to not speak while you gave your points, and I did my best to accommodate that. Okay, if you feel that I was unjust in that or that I mistreated you, I apologize. But I did my best. Once we got to the point, I said, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to give you the floor. Please explain to me. And you gave me 9 points. Okay, I want to get through all those 9 points. And then I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let you talk. And then I'm going to write down your points. And I'm going to go through your points. And I may have a question for you from time to time that I would like for you to ask. Okay, this is one of those moments. I'm going to ask you specifically a specific question. You stated that he has degrees. And in essence, what you were saying was that this is part of his qualifications to speak on certain things. I want to ask you, how many degrees does Umar Johnson have, and what degrees does he have, specifically the names of those degrees?
In total, I don't know how much he's got in total, but from what I understand from yourself and him, is that he has a number of degrees in child psychology. He's worked.
Okay, can you give me a number? Do you think that it's 2? Do you think that it's 3 degrees? Does he have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
Well, look, as far as I'm concerned, there are 3 degrees that are poignant to me with regards to.
No. How many degrees? Now, listen, it's okay to say I don't know. Okay, you can just say I don't know the exact number of degrees. How many degrees does Umar Johnson have?
Lenon, I just said to you, I don't know. But
okay, all right, thank you. No, that's it. That's all I was looking for. Now, based upon the number of degrees that you think that he has, what are the titles of those degrees? Do you know the titles of the degrees?
Well, I understand one of them is a doctorate in child psychology, which is the one that I'm really looking at, because child psychology is the future of our children, and that was the one that I'm really paying a lot of attention to. But
okay, so you're saying, okay, hold on, you're saying that he has a doctorate in child psychology?
But hasn't he?
No, I'm asking you. Are you saying that he has a doctorate in?
Yes, he has.
Okay, hold on. Okay, what are the other degrees?
I'm not sure. But I know that he has the one.
No. We don't have to do buts. It's just a real quick question. Let me get back to your points, and I'll come back to the degree issue a little bit later. A doctorate of child psychology. Let me get to your next point here. You said to pick, I think you said pick the sense, something to this effect. I'm paraphrasing. Pick the sense out of the nonsense, I guess. So in other words, when Umar's saying things that are over the top and make no sense, you got to pick the sense out of it and just leave the rest alone. I don't look at things that way. And let me explain to you why. Because Umar has caused a lot of damage in the lives of children, because a great deal of what he says is actually harming these children. He says things like, you shouldn't get your children diagnosed. There is no such thing as ADHD. There is no such thing as this or that. These little girls who've been RA'd, if you will, or SM'd, if you will, that they go on to develop thoughtless personality disorder, these types of things. Okay, listen, we're dealing with children. We're dealing with the lives of children. And there's no way as a parent that I'm going to listen to someone who the vast majority of his rhetoric is damaging and dangerous to Black families and Black children. And then I'm supposed to sit there and pick out the things that make sense. Okay, it doesn't work that way, at least from my vantage point. Now, you may have a different perspective on that. You're perfectly entitled to that. But I'm very clear that when it comes to children, I'm not going to sit around and listen to someone who's giving horrible information, horrible advice, and then every once in a while he throws in a gym. I'm not going to do that. Okay, that's just me. Number 5, you said that one of them is his school, meaning one of the things that he has done that has inspired people is his school, but he does not have a school. Okay, so it makes no sense. Number 6, you brought up child abuse in schools. I asked a question for clarity. I said, well, give me some examples. And you said, well, the issue with ADHD and, Black children learning, and some of these children having a very difficult time, focusing in classrooms and sitting still, this type of thing. And then you came with, I asked you, okay, are there any other examples? You said, well, hitting, we're in, teachers are putting their hands on children. Well, if that is taking place, sir, we don't need someone like Umar to rectify that. What we need is for parents to go ahead and file the proper paperwork and file the reports, if indeed this is happening. We're living in an age where children have cameras all over the place. There's cameras in the schools. So if these things are indeed happening, there will be evidence of this. And this is if it's actually happening, then that's the parents' job. Once they learn of this information, they need to go ahead and press charges if in fact this is actually happening. But let me tell you something else, though. Umar has said some of the most horrible things in terms of corporal punishment and what he's going to be doing to these Black children. One of the things that he said was that if your child acts up in my school, we're going to have a Black room in the back. And when we take them into this back room, we're going to pound their damn chest in. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. I got the receipts. Don't worry. Everything that I'm saying here, I can go and pull up a receipt and show this without a doubt. And this is just one example, but I'm going to pull this up just to prove my point. This video is still on YouTube. I'll actually have it. I still have it. I have it archived as well, but it is still on YouTube. In the future, if I have you Umar Johnson followers call in, whether you're kind of Umar Johnson follower, so what and so on, listen, I want to be clear that if a question is asked, a specific question, I want you to answer that question. We don't have to go around the mulberry, proverbial mulberry bush, as it were. I want you to just get to the answer to the question. Therefore, we can move on. This is from 4 years ago, December 31st, 2019. This was the year that he acquired these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. I'd like to share this with you all as just one example. There's plenty of other examples, but this is just one example of Umar Johnson's rhetoric in terms of corporal punishment and, as it were, hitting the children and these children being put in harm's way at his so-called school, which doesn't exist. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear the audio in the chat room. Here we go.
So what am I supposed to do? I said, how old is your youngest child? He said 12. I said, well, in 5 more years, you can sign your own Emancipation Proclamation.
By the way, he's speaking here with interracial relationships, okay? And he had advised people that, you know, you don't have to leave your white wife, but as soon as this child gets of age, you can sign your, anyway, it's ridiculous. Okay, you can hear? Okay, let's keep going.
And if you need them light skin, we got light skin. We got French vanilla, we got lemonade.
Okay, he's talking about black women here in the United States specifically and skin colors. This is what you call colorism. This also comes out of white racist rhetoric, white supremacist rhetoric here in the United States of America. I highly doubt that this same type of rhetoric was over there in Europe, by the way. It could have been, but understand that not only did black people have to deal with slavery, we also had to deal with Jim Crow. We also had to deal with the black codes, et cetera, and other people from other countries. You guys did not have to deal with that. So have some respect, please.
We got pina colada. We got butter almond, butter pecan, caramel, sweet brown sugar. It ain't nothing like some full-figured fudge. Rule number 1, don't let them kids get tested 4th grade or younger. Why do you say that, Dr. Johnson? Because every...
Yeah, by the way, our guest just left. Okay, we can just leave it at that. Let me get to the other points, and if we're going, I could pull it up and get through the whole thing, but they already left, so it is what it is. Let me real quickly go through the last few points here. Qualifications, I kind of addressed this a little bit earlier. What qualifies Umar to speak on these topics? He doesn't have any qualifications. His certifications are not current. He's not doing continuing education. And that's one of the pitfalls of all this, is that there are people who they assume that Umar is somehow an authority figure, or that he has something to say that is relevant to today simply because he has some degrees. Okay, but the truth of the matter is that many black people feel that way because Umar has programmed them to think that way. He always mentions that I have all of these degrees. I have also what? What are you doing with these degrees? Are you in public service with these degrees? Have you built anything with these degrees? Are you dealing with children with these degrees? The answer is absolutely not. He uses his degrees as leverage, not that they're functional in society. This guy hasn't had a job in over a decade. He doesn't even have a professional office. See, and this is what the person already ran off. But if you were here, I'd actually do, where's Umar's office at? You wouldn't be able to tell me. And a lot of what you can't tell me, including how many degrees he has or what degrees he happened to have. But the truth of the matter is that as far as qualifications are concerned, this is one of the ways that Umar has been able to scam, because he misrepresents himself, just like he was misrepresenting himself in 2010 when he was hired on and pretending as if he had a doctorate, but he didn't get a doctorate until 2012. See, he just uses the idea of having these degrees as this means that I'm qualified to speak on, but he doesn't have any type of professional, over the last decade, no professional service whatsoever, no jobs or anything. But because he keeps pushing the degrees and degrees, I have all these degrees. Many Umar Johnson followers, whether you're an extreme follower or just kind of, sort of, you accept what he says because he has degrees. But that's because he has promoted himself as such, and he's pushed those degrees and uses it as leverage against you to make you think that I should be listening to this guy. Mind you, these are the same degrees where he got these degrees from white colleges, where he tells other black people that you need to go to HBCUs. He didn't go to HBCU, and then he talks about how these white degrees are useless, etc. They're not useless when he uses them as leverage against you all. But when it comes to you going to better yourself, to get an education, or your children, because he gives horrible advice to children too about going to college. See, he went to college. He went to college for over a decade, and doesn't function as a professional to any capacity these days, and hasn't for over a decade. But then he tells other Black people not to go. Horrible advice. And he tells parents not to don't worry about spending $30,000 a year on your child. You should just take that money, save that money up, and invest in their business. Okay, if the child's not business savvy, the child doesn't want to go to business. What if they want to go get a degree? What you talking about, Craig? Okay, now qualifications mean nothing. Okay, because Umar's not qualified. None of his certifications are up to date. The degrees there are simply things that he uses as leverage against Black people. They're non-functional in the real world. Okay. He also said, again, he left. Okay, if you want to call back in, you're welcome to do so. Here, I'll put the thing in one more time. You also said, point number 8, that you agree Umar should not be speaking on the likes of Deion Sanders. It's not just Deion Sanders, and overwhelmingly he targets successful Black people over and over again, the same Black people that you expect to be as millionaires to be supporting these schools out here. But if you have someone like Umar Johnson who disparages them at every single turn, he's actually muddying the water. Matter of fact, muddying the waters. One of my main criticisms of Umar, and this is one of my earlier criticisms of Umar, is by him scamming for the last, almost 11 years, I will say 10 years, specifically dealing with the St. Paul school scam leading into the Wilmington school scam. For him scamming for this long, what it has done is that it's caused a lot of Black people to recoil from supporting organizations or groups or even people who do, in fact, need help with getting projects up off of the ground, including schools for that matter. We have plenty of Black schools out here too in the United States of America. I don't know about over there in the UK. We have plenty of them over in Umar will tell you otherwise, but that's not a statement of fact, you see. But see, because Umar has spent so much time betraying Black people when it comes to the money that they have sent him, there are a lot of Black people, they're unwilling these days to support Black-owned businesses, to support people who in the community who are actually doing work, unlike Umar. Okay, so he's actually been a detriment. I would propose that there are Black celebrities and millionaires who have recoiled from issuing levels of support to Umar because his rhetoric is so dangerous, and that the impact that his rhetoric has had on them is that it's better for them not to support any Black organizations. That I should not, any grassroots organization who's trying to do things, actual functional things for the community, for the Black community. That's a problem in and of itself. And then point number 9, Black rich people need to help. And this is one of the things that we have to understand about Umar's rhetoric. He will often say things like, yeah, the rich people or the Black rich people, they're not supporting this and blah, blah, blah. And then he'll start name calling and he'll say that they're part of the Black bourgeoisie. Okay, but if you disparage these same people, why would they want to support you? They wouldn't. See? So this is all to say that I can break down each one of these 9 points and just break them all down to where the illogic of them is revealed. I'm not saying this to be disrespectful or disparaging towards you. And if you feel disrespected in any way, I apologize. It's just that I'm not going to be getting on here on my platform, have people call in and I ask a specific question, and then it takes them 5 minutes, 8 minutes just to agree to answer the question, even though I said as part of coming up here is to answer the question directly. No, answer the question, and then we go through the process. I'll give you some time where you can get your points off. I gave you some time to get your point off, and then I said specifically, I'm going to go point by point, and then I'll have a question for you. And I went point by point, and then when I had a question, I asked a question. Then we want to go, here we go again. Okay, we're not going to do that. Okay, this is all to say, anyone here inside of the chat room, if you're going to make statements, and if I catch it, because most of the time I'm not in the chat room, but if I catch them, if I catch the statement and I know it to be false, I'm going to call it out. And in some cases, I will put the link in for you to get up on here and defend yourself. But I will not have people come up here and get to the point where they can feel like they can dictate to me how I'm going to run this show or how I'm going to ask questions or if I'm going to mute them. If I ask you a question and you don't answer the question, I'm going to mute you and then I'm going to ask the question again. And then if I unmute you and then you keep going and you don't answer the question, I'm going to mute you again. You see, I think that that's fair. Okay, so let's be clear about this. In the future, if we do this, okay, question, answer, and then if you have a rebuttal, you get off your rebuttal, I'll give you the time, and then I'll go point by point. And while I'm going point by point, I will mute you just because I want to get this off. And then if I have a question for you, I have a question, answer the question, and then we'll move on. I think that that's fair. All right. All right. I'm going to put the link in one more time. If you want to call in, actually, that's not even a link. I'll put in the actual video link where Umar talks about how he's going to pound the children's chest in. He's also said other things that are really horrible about what he's going to do to these black children up there at FMG. A lot of it comes out of his military training, where in 9th grade, he was sent off to a military boarding school, and the type of programming that he received when he was in that military boarding school actually carries over to today, and how he has conceptualized this idea of FMG. Here is the call-in link for the caller. If you have any final thoughts, you can definitely call in right now. Now, I will not mute your microphone. You can just get it off. I'll give you a minute, and you can do your thing, and then we can move on. Let me get back to the video for today. Here we go. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. There was a couple of super chats that came in. Let me get to this. Someone said, "Bruh, don't be a." What is that? What does that mean? I don't know. Bro, Umar has talked bad about little girls that have been abused. Umar has spoken about killing 10% of black boys. There you go, right there. I can pull that up. Okay, so when we say things like, well, you know, he's doing all this work to fight against child abuse in schools, he's not actually doing any work in schools. Let's be clear about that. He gets online every once in a while, usually inside of a hotel, motel, inside of his mama's closet. And you have desperate black people, mainly black people here in the United States of America. Every once in a while, we hear someone from over in the UK. They're already in desperate situations. They don't know what to do. And instead of going to get professional help that they can actually do, they go to Umar because they believe that he's some sort of authority because he's talked about how many degrees that he has. Okay, but he's no authority. He doesn't have the credentials to do what he doesn't have the qualifications either. Nothing's up to date with this guy. Okay. But as another example, yeah, he did speak about killing 10% of black boys here in the United States of America. He didn't say about the UK. He said about here in the United States of America. Now, if that is the case, that we're going to get out here, these black men, and we're going to arm up and we're going to go and kill 10% of black boys, these thugs on the corner, wouldn't you equate that, sir, with at least putting your hands on a child? That's far worse, isn't it? Okay. That's what I mean, that it doesn't fit, you see. It doesn't fit at all. Umar's rhetoric is abusive towards black people. I said that in the beginning of this live stream. All right. Thank you, Black Wolf, for the super chat. I'm a Cookie Crush chat vet member. This MF is delusional, and this is how Umar is able to still have a lifestyle funded by black folks. They don't grasp it. The thing, though, I don't think that the vast majority of the financial support that Umar gets is from the UK. I highly doubt it. I think that the vast majority of the support that Umar gets is from here in the United States of America. And that's problematic, too, because the impact in terms of the scam, the impact that it's having is far more egregious here in the United States of America than over in the UK. I can also throw in there the fact that Umar preys upon single black mothers, and the vast majority of the women that he is sexually exploiting are over here in the United States of America. They're not over there in Africa somewhere. They're not over there in Europe somewhere. They're over here in the United States. They're not even in the Caribbean. Okay, because relatively speaking, he's not all over these places all that often. He's over here mainly doing this. This is something that people who are in other countries, you need to consider, you know, and you have to understand that your experience as a black person in your country is not the same as those of us here in this country. Furthermore, the experiences that we have here as black people in this country is not even the same. But have a level of respect and understand that what our ancestors, let me be specific, what our ancestors have experienced here, it's very much unique, and that has to be respected. So what I'm saying is that when we have charlatans like Umar come in and they use the suffering and the plight of our ancestors here in the United States of America as a platform to scam and to scheme and to sexually exploit black women, it needs to be called out. And see, it's easier for someone outside of this country to see it and maybe it not registered on the same level that it does for us over here in the United States of America. And maybe on some level it's more accepting, but that's because it's not directly impacting your mothers. It's not directly impacting your daughters. It's not directly impacting your children. It's not directly impacting your great grandmother. See, over here, because he mainly targets African Americans here, black people over here in the United States of America, it's impacting black people over here directly at a rate that is far exceeds any other place around the world. That needs to be respected. Okay. And then Lewis Sucks says Umar is a preacher. He's the new pastor pork chop. Well, if you let him tell it, black people, that's what we waiting on these politicians to send us some pork chops and some chitterlings. Okay. All right. We got a little sidetracked, but it's good. It's good. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep it going. How's it going, Creole? Creole says Umar goes to UK trying to sound like Idris Elba and leading these people. He starts talking all proper and shit. Yes, family. Listen, it's not a battle. It's just that I listen, and I try to be fair. I know I probably muted the guy too much, but it's because if I ask a question, I expect an answer, and it's just how it's going to go. I'm not going to get somebody try to tell me how to run my show. It's not going to happen. I put too much work into this and too much time, too much research. And the other thing is I know when people don't know what they're talking about. And it's basic questions I can ask. I said, well, if degrees are so important to you, and that's the qualification, well, how many degrees does Umar have? They don't know. What degrees does he specifically have? If you think he has 3, give me the names of those degrees. If you think he has 6, I always said that he has at least 4. I said he may have 5. I don't think he has 6. He has 6. It's not functional. He's not using any of them. Okay. His first bachelor, it's 1 degree. So really we should say he has 5, but let's just say 6. It's really a mute point. It doesn't really matter because it's not like he's doing anything with them of consequences of scamming black people. Okay. He's not a professional anywhere and hasn't been for over a decade. But his first degree was a double major, which counts as 1 degree, by the way. And that was in political science and psychology. Okay. His first master's was a master's in psychology. His second master's was a master's in leadership, organizational leadership, something to that effect. I can't remember the exact title. Okay. His PhD, which isn't a PhD, it's actually a PsyD, and there is a difference between the two. Matter of fact, hold on one second. It may come up, but it may not though. Here, listen, because I have all the receipts. Here you go. This is Umar Rashad Abdullah Johnson. This is from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. It's a doctor of psychology, and this person did say doctor of psychology, but to be more specific, if you go do your research, you'll realize that this is actually what is called a PsyD, P-S-Y. Okay, go look it up. And it depends on if you're going to be on the research side or if you're going to be a practitioner, as it were. But Umar doesn't have an office. Okay. Here's another one. This is a Master's of Science. I think this is another one. Let me see. Let me make sure I got this right. Let's see. Has confirmed on Umar Abdullah Johnson the degree of Master's of Science. So this is another one. Master's was a Master's of Science. What about the other degree was educational leadership. That's what it was. Okay, so I think what this would mean is, wait, let me see if I got this right. Educational leadership was one, maybe that was a bachelor's. Maybe that's what it is. And I got that confused with the Master's of Science. Okay, hold on. Let me see what the other one I have here. So this is what it is. He has a Master's in educational leadership, a Master's of Science, and then he has a doctorate of psychology, and then he has a double major in political science and psychology. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So now to correct myself, the person who called in, they were right about that. See, now I'll correct myself. Okay. This is the thing. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. Okay. But if someone calls in and they don't know the answer to something, just say, I don't know. It's perfectly fine. Right. So, no, that's not what it is. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. All right. It looks like this is someone else. It's someone named Denny. I'll have you come on real quick. What you got, Denny?
Yeah, how you doing, man? Yeah, I do follow you, and thank you for all that you do. Actually calling from DC.
Okay.
Yeah. I sort of have a mixed feelings in regards to Dr. Umar. So in one hand, he has the right message, but I believe, and sometimes the way he goes about sharing that message is where I have some problems. And I think, and this is just my personal opinion, and I do follow you. And again, I want to congratulate for all that you do, being just reasonable and just bringing very great points. I want to say this. I think, instead of just showing the bad things that Dr. Umar does, I think it's a time to sort of to start providing some solutions. And by
What are
solutions,
solutions? What are some of the solutions you would recommend, sir?
so for example, one of the solutions is, I think it's a great thing that the Dr. Umar needs to be called out. Needs to be. I think I saw a video that he did with Lord Jamar, and I think that was a very great exchange they had, because Lord Jamar asked very specific questions, and he raised very specific points. For example, where the money and when will the school be open, and he kept pressing, and Dr. Umar provided a few answers, and some went unanswered. But I think it's good, I guess, for the elders, but just to start, I guess, making these, some of these people in our communities accountable, because I think that's what's lacking. And
Okay, well, specifically, what do you think is a solution, though?
I think the solution is, for example, and you pointed out that there's some people doing some work. Why not share a message with the people that's doing the work? For example,
That's fair.
I know
Okay,
there's a
that's fair.
brother in Atlanta.
Mhm.
He has done a great job. He
King
has
Randall.
opened a school. I forgot his name, but I follow him and I've donated. I've also donated to Dr. Umar.
Do you still donate to Umar?
Well,
Come on, brother. No. You don't break my heart now. Don't break my heart. Do you still donate?
no, not still. But here's what I want to say, though. I'm a very no. I said I donated in the past, but here's what I want to say, brother. I love our people. I do. I'm originally from Angola, in Africa. I've lived there for many years, but I love my people. I support in every possible capacity that I can. And it's like, when I see that the brother did a great work in Atlanta, and all boys school. I think we need more of that. And I also agree with you that sometimes people in the diaspora and outside the United States, they don't have the real understanding about what the brothers here in the United States went through and how the whole system works. So I would just, as a suggestion, and maybe cut them a slack and maybe educate them. And that's what I do. Personally, I do educate a lot of African brothers, because I came here and I've been in the community, within the Black community, and I relate, and that's what I do. I try to educate them, but again, going back to your question, I think sharing those people that are doing work. For example, the brother in Atlanta. I also know there's a brother in I don't know if Chicago, that's doing some work as well. I think sharing those stories.
Yeah, there's a brother in New York too, Q Butter. I've had him on in the
Yes,
past too.
yes. Correct. You're absolutely correct. I think sharing their stories, what it will do, it will show that, hey, there are people who are doing the work, and maybe confronting Dr. Umar, because we need to have accountability. We do, and that's what I love about your show and what you do. I think it's great to have accountability, because that's how we're going to move forward as people. And if we're not holding each other accountable, there's no way. For example, I myself, I'm an engineer, and so I used to live in Houston. And what I used to do is I was a mentor for young Black kids at the Lamar High School in Houston. I did that for a while, and I'm actually looking for a school where I can start just on a grassroots level, just go in there and help teach.
You ain't gonna now. You're not gonna ask Umar for advice, are you?
Oh, no.
All right.
Well,
no, I'm just playing.
Well,
Listen, I'm just playing with you, and I got to move on. But let me say this: you do make a good point to highlight people who are doing the work, and I'll do my best to implement that, even if it's just a little bit. But I have to say that in terms of Umar, someone has to do the work to hold him accountable, and also to express to people the dangers of following someone like Umar. And that's where I've been placed in life. Understand that it's not something that I had planned on doing this long. And there are days where I'll say, I'm tired of it, but someone has to do it. And because I have the knowledge base, I have the timeline, I have all the receipts. I don't think, and I'm saying this humbly, I don't think that anyone will be able to do it quite like I've been able to do it. And for that reason, I have to continue to do it until this school scam comes to an end. Is that fair?
Yes, sir. I just want to say this, sir. I want to suggest this before I go there, sir.
Yes.
And thank you for your time. If you try reaching out to him, because maybe he doesn't know some of the things that you say. If you try reaching out to him.
Who?
Umar, Dr. Umar.
Oh, no. He watches these videos. He's probably watching right now. Listen, I don't know. No, I'm serious. You may not know that the history. Umar, he's actually called me out. He's called me. He said that I go after little boys. He said things like he said that I was gay at a certain point. He said he doxed my personal information, my home address. He told his followers, and I can pull all this up. He told his followers to come to my residence and confront me. So he knows what I've been talking about. It's been going a long time. In fact, one of the reasons why I've stayed on him and I don't give him slack is because he did things like that. He's done other things too. Offline that I'm not going to mention here, but because he did that, that was incentive for me to continue. Because what I recognize is that if you're speaking the truth and someone tries to put you in a position where they threaten you to try to get you to back off, to try to intimidate you, you can either fold and you can run away, or you can stand up to the person like a man, and that's precisely what I've done with Umar.
Yes.
You may not be familiar with that, but that's some of the history stuff that you may not know.
No,
thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
No, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing it, please. I love your shows. Keep doing what you're doing, and may the Most High, continue to bless you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, and then let me also say, listen, if you're still donating to Umar, you need to stop. I don't mean to be like that, but if you're an engineer, you're making good money. Okay, take that money and send it back to the homeland. Okay, you got family over there, you got friends over there that you can help. Go put it to something to help your people up over there. Don't waste your money on Umar. Okay, there's no school. There's never going to be a school. He done collected $2.7 million, and there's good people like this brother. Even though we have some disagreements, that's fine. But he stated he sent money to Umar. Don't do that anymore. If you have money, disposable income, send it back to the mother country. Help people up over there. Make sure it goes to good use. That'd be a better use of your money. Okay. Now, one last point I want to make before we get back into the video. You see the difference. This person came on and they had something to say, and it took them a little while to get to it. I asked them a couple of questions and they answered the questions, and I let them go. You see the difference? See, and I normally don't do call-ins, but if we do this in the future, I want you guys to know, listen, I'm a fair guy. Okay. I may get a little bit more aggressive than what people are used to, but don't think that I'm mad at you or anything. It's just there's a particular format that I'm going to stick to. If a question is asked, then the question needs to be answered in the first place. And if we set some particular rules, those rules need to be followed. And if the question is asked and you don't answer right away and you start running around in circles, okay, then I'm going to pause and then we're going to go back to the question until we get to that question. Then we can move on from there. See, now in this case, when this person came on, even though he didn't agree with everything and he has some different views, that's fine. And I can listen to that and I don't have to mute him, but that's because he answers the initial questions. And when I ask him another question, he answers that and we can keep moving that way. Okay. All right. And thanks to the brother for calling in. All right, let's get back to the video. Okay. Real quick. Yes, you're right. The caller that initially called in, he said that Umar had a PhD in child psychology, and that's not factual. So even though I corrected myself, In fact, I was right. Okay. But it goes to show you that if I even think that I'm wrong, I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm right. And I'll admit that, even if I'm incorrect, even if I'm right. The person that called in said Umar had a PhD in psychology. No, in child psychology. No, he does not. He has a doctorate in psychology. And this is very specific. It's called a PsyD. PsyD is practice focused. PhD is research focused. Umar is not a PhD. He does not do research. That's why when he wrote his 2 books, there's no research materials. There's no cited materials. It's not peer reviewed. None of that. Credible sources. None of that whatsoever. Okay. The other thing is that Umar is not practice focused either. He doesn't even have his own office. He's not employed. He's always said that he was independent. So once they fired him from the Philadelphia school district because he was messing up, and I can give a whole background on that. His reputation precedes him, so he can't be. They won't rehire him because he was causing so much problems. Now the point is that at that point he can say that he's independent. But if you're independent, you're going to have an office somewhere. Where's Umar's office? He doesn't have an office. This guy doesn't even have his own residence. He's such a charlatan. Okay. Real quick, doctor of psychology, doctor of philosophy in psychology. The prior is applied to clinical, yes, and the latter is research doctor. Yeah. Okay. I know I didn't express that appropriately, but you guys correct me. Thank you so much, third variable, and also Vixa. Lewis Luck says, why spend all those years in school, borrow all that money to get the credentials and not want to work? Doesn't make sense. Umar worked initially, Lewis Luck. He did. But he's always been a rebel rouser. He's always been someone who goes against the grain no matter what. And what he was doing, to be clear, what he was doing was that when children were being evaluated by other school psychologists and psychologists, no matter what the diagnoses would be, when Umar would reevaluate them, he would go against it. Doesn't that sound like Umar anyway? And what would happen is over time, when he would do this over and over and over again, and he was just causing problems, it turned into litigation. Now it's an issue where now parents are suing the school district. They're suing the school district because based on what Umar says, their child was misdiagnosed. That's why if you guys go back and listen to early Umar, he'll reference this stuff because he'll always put it in the scope of money. You can get money from the state. In fact, if you can prove that your child was misdiagnosed, or if you can even prove that they weren't receiving the type of education that they were supposed to receive based on their IEP, evaluation, etc., then you can sue. And what will happen is that the school district will become liable, and they will have to pay for your child to go to private school for free. This was the hustle. That's why when people say that Umar has, he's qualified, he's not qualified. When he worked as a quote unquote professional, he couldn't function because everything that he said was against the grain. And that's why if you guys listen to when the Black Parent teleconferences, when these parents call in and they talk about their child, Umar doesn't have to look at any paperwork. He doesn't have to talk with the child. He doesn't have to talk with anyone who's diagnosed the children. He automatically go, in most cases, 95% of the time, he goes against the evaluation. And then he starts coming up with his own, well, what it sounds like to me. That's not professional. It shouldn't even be done online. That's crazy. You see? That's Umar. And that's why all these years later, he can't get hired anywhere. Instead, especially in the Philadelphia school district, his reputation precedes him. Okay. So the question is, why spend all that time in school? I think Umar spent all that time in school for 2 reasons. One, he felt as if by doing that, it's going to put him in a position to have a particular career that he wanted, and he would make all this money. But the other thing is that to be in school for that long, it further allowed him to not be personally responsible for himself because everything was being paid for by student loans. You see, understand that Umar, from the age of 14 through 18, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, went to a boarding school, and the boarding school provided everything: lodging, food, water to drink, food, clothes. I mean, everything was provided for this guy. So for 4 years before he even graduates, everything is provided for him, which is he gets used to that type of a lifestyle. College, therefore, provides him with another opportunity to extend this, where he doesn't have to be personally responsible, where he's working a job, he's bringing his own income as a man, etc. So he goes for 4 years. That 4 years turns into 5. It turns into 6. It turns into 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And at a certain point, he walks out with a degree, the highest degree of a doctor of psychology, and it's a PsyD. So now he's in a position where he can get a job. But then when he gets the job, he misrepresents himself. And this is after he has a master's. He's actually starts working when he's a master's, but he didn't get his degree until 2012. But he told one of his employers that he had a PhD in 2010. That's why you look on the paperwork for the filings for this particular school, that it says in there that Umar Johnson he's a doctorate. He's a doctor. He's not. but he misrepresented himself. Why? Because he wanted to get paid as a doctorate, which is different than if you're a master's, which is different than if you have a bachelor's. See, but all of this extends Umar's ability to just grift and get money. But at a certain point, the real Umar starts to come out, and then the school system, the authorities, if you will, who are in the school districts, they realize that Umar is a problem because he's causing all of these issues, not only for the school that he works for, but also for the school district. And there's plenty of litigation that came out of this, and the school district didn't have to pay a whole bunch of money. You guys can look this all up online. And if you guys look at the court documents, it'll show how Umar in 2010, in the court documents, they're referring to him as doctor, but he's not a doctor. He didn't get his doctorate in 2012. He's a scammer. I wouldn't be surprised if he had some documents printed up and just showed them to the people. I wouldn't be surprised by that. That's why he has all these aliases. If you guys notice, and I don't mean to go off on this. Thanks for the super chat real quick as well. And again, it doesn't make sense. Okay. Listen, why would he want to work when people give him money for free and they're giving him money not to work? Last year, Lewis Luck, he filed for the IRS. He stated in his filings to keep his tax exempt status that he earned over $200,000. For what? See, if you can make $200,000 or $300,000 a year, or in some years, $100,000 for the last decade, and you don't do nothing, would you do it? You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why he has all these degrees and they're non-functional. But why? I mean, what function does they have? Ultimately, he's still getting people to send him money for a school that does not exist, making millions of dollars. Okay, real quick before we move on, and thanks, Lewis Luck. Real quick, if you guys look at these, and these are the only 3 degrees that Umar has shown. Okay, he has a doctorate in psychology. The name is Umar Rashad Abdullah Johnson. Here is the Master's of Science, Umar Abdullah Johnson. Here's the Masters of Education, Umar Rashad Ibn Abdullah Johnson. Okay, that's something for people to just ask the question. Why do we have different names on these degrees? See, and why on this Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, it shows that the graduation date, and if you look at that last line, the last 2 lines, signed this, I can't see it, 14th day of November. And it says, I think it says ad dominium or something, domini, 3012. You see how 3012 is written? It's written out. But if you look at his Masters of Science, you see 2008. It's not written out in letters. It's written out numerically. Okay. And if you guys look very carefully, you'll see that 2008. Okay. And I don't know this for a fact, but if you look at it, it looks as if it was written on top of something else. Okay, this is the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. This is the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. On one of the degrees, it has the year written out completely in text, but on this one, it's written out in text except for the year that's written out numerically. It's a red flag. Okay, now he will also have a bachelor's in a double major in psychology and in political science. And he claims that that's 2 degrees. We'll say that that's 2 plus 3. That would be 5. He has at least 5 degrees. He says 6. It is a moot point anyway. Okay. Umar Ahmad Rashad. I remember Ahmad Rashad and Rocket Ishmael. I believe Rocket Ishmael played for the Los Angeles Raiders back in the day. Okay. He had a brother too, I think, named Quadri Ishmael. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Let's get back to the video for today. Thank you all so much. I hope you all enjoying the show. I know it's gone off a bit on a tangent, but it is what it is. I'm enjoying myself. Okay. If anyone else wants to call in, you're welcome to do so. Okay. Maybe later, if you want to call in, I'll put the link in there. But let's start to wind this down. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. I apologize. I know we've been all over the place. Let me pull up the video. Here we go.
In the final debate, when it's close to election day, that final debate, I think they might throw you some chicken bones and a couple drops of Kool-Aid to make sure
Oh my God. He said a couple of drops. Here we go. He said Kool-Aid, y'all.
you turn up and turn out on election day. But let us be clear. Israel was more important than you. Let us be clear. The immigrants were more important than you. Ukraine is more important than you. Everything is more important than the American African. So why are we crashing out? Why are we crashing out for the red car or the blue car? Why are we crashing out for the red wing or the blue wing when they both belong?
Okay, and that's fine. I'm just saying it's something to think about. Now, are your degrees all from the same college though? Okay, and the other thing too is if you look very carefully, I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you look very carefully, you'll see dated this 5th day of November. And then if you look at the 2008 and you look beyond the text, behind the text, you can see that the what would be the paper, it's actually not the same color as the actual document itself. I don't know if you guys can see it from your end, but I can see it clearly on my end. All right. All right. All right, let's continue. Here we go.
The same corrupt ass Caucasian chicken wing. I said, why are we crashing?
Okay, so you have them from different institutions. All right, well, it's just something to consider. You know, if an institution issues a degree, it should be uniform across the board. And this is the same institution for Umar. Okay, this is the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. This is in 2008. Okay, and this is the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, and this is 2012. Okay, it's within a 4-year period. You know what I'm saying? And if you look carefully right here on the 2008, if you look behind it, okay, the color of where the text is set and numerically, it's lighter than the actual document itself. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it clearly on my end. Okay, well, we'll leave it at that. Here we go.
Out for the red wing or the blue wing when they both belong to the same corrupt ass Caucasian chicken wing, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I see that too. I see it.
We can't fight each other over white people's agendas. The most honorable Marcus Garvey turning in his grave. Turning in his grave. Ida B. Wells turning in her grave. Even W.E.B. Du Bois turning in his grave. We crashing out over two parties that have never had the best interests of American African people at their heart. Come on now. Brothers and sisters, we need to get focused on how we're going to save ourselves, because no matter who wins the election, Black America is losing regardless. I don't care how you cut the cake. Donald Trump is no blessing. Kamala Harris is no blessing. They couldn't even bring up the Tyreek Hill situation that's all over the media. I mean, come on, Donald and Kamala.
Why would they bring that up in a presidential debate? That's absolutely insane. Again, Umar believes that somehow they should be obligated in a presidential debate to specifically address an issue to a particular Black person that took place a couple of days ago. It's just delusional thinking. In fact, I was thinking about tomorrow doing a live stream to play the video and give my analysis. I haven't watched it yet, but I have seen quite a few people talking about it, and I'll just give you my perspective on it. But it doesn't make any sense. These people have prepared. They spent time in advance to figure out exactly what they're going to be talking about. In fact, what they're talking about is also something that the moderators have at least some control over when they're asking these questions. Okay, it's a collective effort. Okay. It's not like they get up there and talk about whatever they want to, but somehow Umar thinks that, and again, this deals with this whole sense that somehow we're special, even though Umar claims that we're so downtrodden and disorganized and horrible people as Black people, that somehow these politicians, that they're going to placate to us during these elections. It just doesn't work that way. They didn't do that for, listen, I'm sure that there are probably a white person or an Asian person or a Latino person who potentially, because I haven't seen the video yet, but who were potentially mistreated by the police over the last month that they could have spoken on to. Did they speak on any of that? No, they didn't, because that's not what the agenda was. But Umar wants to make it that way. It's ridiculous. I see it. If you zoom in, you can see it pixelated. You're absolutely right. I've already looked at it. I've looked at it. I have a degree in cybersecurity and in terms of digital forensics. Okay, I know at least a little bit about that, even before I started with the degree. Okay, and there's something going on there. Is it really that important? I don't think it's really relevant, because he doesn't use his degree to any professional capacity. He uses it as leverage against Black people, nothing more. See? All right, let's continue. Here we go.
Come on, Donald and Kamala. Y'all can't even bring up the Tyreek Hill situation that's all over the news. We're not even going to talk about Tyreek Hill being brutalized by immigrant police. We're not even going to talk about Tyreek Hill.
Were they immigrants? Were they really? I don't know. And how do you know that? I don't know. Maybe they were.
Being brutalized by immigrant police. And y'all keep talking about black and brown. Well, Tyreek Hill was brutalized by brown police. But the Democratic Party plantation slaves are quiet. And DL.
Yeah, you do make a good point, Boy Wonderlist. We really need a raw image instead of a scan to see 100% what's going on, as long as you have eyes. So yeah, I agree with that. But the thing is that Umar hasn't even provided that. See, what he should do is he should do a live where he actually shows them physically up close on camera. It really shouldn't be a picture in the first place, because you have to. There's all kinds of things that can happen with the conversion from analog to digital, right? So I totally understand what you're saying here, but based on what the best resource that we have, and we can go with that, even in the image, the original image that he put on his Instagram page, you see it there. But even that, see, what he should do is, and it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's not going to prove one way or the other that this guy's a scammer, because he's already a scammer. You can take this out of the equation. It's just another thing to look at. What he should do is he should do a live, and in that live, he should actually show the actual physical copy of the degree and put it up to the screen, and then that should be what, I guess that would be the best source outside of actually seeing the physical copy in hand, right? Yeah. But there is something going on there, and one of the issues that you can look at is the fact that on one of the degrees, it's issued with numerically the date. On the other one, it's issued alphabetically. Okay, that's a red flag in and of itself. Now, it could be possible that they switched over. Maybe for between those 4 years, they switched over how they format. It's possible too. But if you look at the 2008, the format's not even the same. It's slightly bigger than the rest of the text too. Look. You see this? I can't even say that the font matches. I can't say that. See, the font from the text on that same line, it's a lot closer than it is. The 2008, which is just 4 characters, takes up a lot more space than for the text that would be four text. Let's say NOVE for November. You compare that to 2000. There's a lot of things you can look at here. But again, you're right. If we saw the original copy of it, that would be best and to analyze that. But we have to go with what we're working with, and that is what we have. Okay, let's continue. And you see, I'm fair. I'm so fair. Let's go.
Isn't off the hook. He agreed to my debate. I'm still waiting on a date and time for DL Hughley to meet me at the most honorable Jean-Jacques Dessalines and the most honorable Nat Turner Gymnasium of the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. You ain't off the hook, DL.
Yeah, Umar issuing threats. Yeah, 78 vet. I remember that too. He was waving it around like this real quick.
You ain't off the hook, Steve Harvey. You ain't off the hook, my brother Ricky Smiley. I love my big brothers. We not beefing.
Big brother.
But we have to have an intellectual samurai session. I said we need an intellectual samurai session.
Oh, what?
Because after last night's debate, I want to know how y'all still selling either candidate to black folks.
I covered the debate today. Umar, you didn't even watch the debate. And I said it, I'm not going to say it here. You guys go and watch the video. I ain't going to do it. Lori says, hey, Lenon and Cookie Crush. Chat. How's the CC? Does it fit? Is it right on you guys' screen? Is it backwards? Let me know. I think it looks right to me now. Maybe it's not on your end. Let me know, y'all. Someone called me out on that today. I said all this time I had the CCC backwards. Laurie says, hey, Lenon and Cookie Crush. I'm walking the stage for my BS in psychology on Saturday. Congratulations. Working on my MA and ABA. I plan on being a real scientist and educator. ADHD is actually real blessed up. Congratulations, everyone. Please, let's give a round of applause to Laurie, our IRL, who just, she's done. Okay, she's walking the stage for her Bachelor's of Science in Psychology this coming Saturday, which is just a couple of days away. Congratulations. I'm excited. I'm happy for you. Keep doing you. You're going to be so much more successful than me. And you're probably a lot younger too. So keep doing your thing, girlfriend. All right. And you're going for your master's too. And as you're going through that master's, consider the PhD D2. You don't have to do it, but it's something as you continue. It's better to get it done earlier than later. Trust me, I know. But I will say this: congratulations to you. See, that's the one thing we can say about the Cookie Crush chat is that when we hear stories of people making these big moves and they're achieving on this level, we always give props. Okay, and we're so thankful. We're thankful for people who've been supportive of other people. Y'all were supportive of me when I was getting my degree. And we have, you understand, Laura, you have our support. Congratulations. All right. And there you have it. Oh, you 41? Oh, you just a baby. You just a baby. That's okay. You so young. Just continue to do what you're doing. Okay. That's how you know you old. Huh? You say, hey, yeah, you just a baby. All right. How's it going, fam? Everyone is giving shout outs and congratulations to Laurie. All right. And that's awesome. Okay. Go get that master's. And as you progress, keep us updated. You see, we got plenty of love up in here. That's what I'm talking about. Even Umar in here. Umar in here too. He said, yeah, go get you about 15 of them. Umar, go and get your 15, girl. All right, congratulations. That's awesome. Anyone else, if you're working on degrees or you're working on a master's now or PhD, or even if you're going for an associate's or any certifications, keep at it. Okay, keep at it. Just keep going, and you have our support. And as you get close to getting these certification degrees, what have you, let us know, and we will celebrate. Okay, if in the chat room, Quick Crush that's undefeated. It's still backwards. I'll figure it out. Okay. Again, I told people I'm not the brightest bulb in the light. Okay. Lori says, yeah, my picture is like from 2021. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's get back to it. Here we go. Congratulations.
After last night's debate, how you selling either candidate to black folks? And I'm going to be honest
it's Saturday.
with you.
Okay, Saturday. This
My
Saturday.
American African family, and I want the universal African kingdom
and there
to
you
listen
go.
to this.
It don't matter the age. Just get it done. Okay. A win is a win. All right.
Because the whole planet Earth is the kingdom of Africa. But the continent of Africa is the royal palace. I said the whole planet Earth is the...
Someone just sent me a message. And they said it's Umar. It says, Lenon, my brother, I would appreciate it if you would give me the chance to speak my speech. Boy, y'all, wow. Okay, let's continue. And thanks for super chat too, Laurie. I appreciate it. Let's continue here. Someone said Rocket Ishmael. Okay, let's go.
Kingdom of Africa. Wherever you go, there you are. The whole planet is the kingdom of Africa, but the continent is the royal palace. See how that works? Wherever you are, we are within the kingdom of Africa, but the continent is the royal palace. Some of us want to relocate, repatriate, and be at the royal palace. Some of us want to stay across the kingdom of the planet Earth, the grand African kingdom. The choice is yours. Make sure you be on the lookout for the new Cannon's class interview with King Kong Consciousness. Make sure you be on the lookout for the new Council Culture interview conversation with Dr. Umar and Brother Nick Cannon. And make sure you be on the lookout for the We Playing Spades episode. Okay. Make sure you be on the lookout for the new We Playing Spades episode with your brother Nick Cannon and the notorious RBG. Brothers and sisters, when are we going to have some conventions to organize ourselves?
See, Umar will say how black people are so disorganized, but what has he organized? He's up here talking about when are we. Everything with this guy is we gonna, we should, we need to, but never this is what we are doing, this is the plan, etc. Okay?
Because I'm telling you right now, when the media stops discussing you.
Yeah, I know. He got a gang of kids. And according to Umar, he's a bunny hopper, right? But he sure will go on that show and get paid and get some clout. But it is what it is.
When the media stops discussing you. I'm telling you right now. You better understand, overstand, and understand what the notorious RBG is saying to you. The media historically has desecrated and assassinated the image of black people.
Umar actually does that on a daily basis because he disparages black people all the time. It's interesting.
That's the job of the media, to destroy your global representation, your global reputation and image. That's the job. And they got a lot of help from black women on reality shows, and they got a lot of help from these goofy ass gangster rappers. I said the American media got a lot of help destroying black people's image and reputation from these goofy ass gangster rappers and from these black women on these reality shows. We helped them desecrate the image. But guess what, American Africans? Once the media blacks out, when you are no longer a topic on CNN at all, where you are no longer a topic on C-SPAN and NBC and CBS and Fox News, when they
What is he talking about? Anyone following this? What is he actually talking about? No, that's what I'm saying. 1 minute he may make some good sense, and then the next he sounds like he. No, that's just what I was saying. I said that before you even posted that comment. What is he talking about? He starts at one place and then he all over. I don't even know what anyone in here understand what he's talking about?
Stop discussing you altogether because it's coming. When you know
Nick Cannon donate to him, yeah, he probably sent him some change so we want to get him some, some fried tacos or something. Nick Cannon from San Diego, he probably gave him some change so he get a carne asada or something. You know what I'm saying? On one of them the Mexican food corner shops. You know what I'm saying? He gave him a couple bucks. All right, let's go.
No longer get a little story on USA Today or the New York Times or the New York Post or the LA Times, the Philadelphia Daily News. When you no longer are covered at all, you know what that means, right? That means we are planning a great assassination, a great purge and genocidal campaign against the African people. This is one of the reasons George Bush started the gentrification movement that Barack Obama did nothing about.
What?
They had to get black people out of the inner cities. That's why they gentrifying you. They can't wholesale slaughter you in a big city because it will get attention. They got to get black people out of the inner cities. And since we love living around white folks, since we follow white people wherever they go, it was easy to get us out the inner cities because you love being close to your slave master. It's a plantation hang up. We don't like to go too far from a slave master. We like to keep our quarters close to the master in case he needs us. So they knew you would.
You see what I'm saying? Like I said in the beginning, a lot of his rhetoric is racist white supremacy rhetoric from like 100 years ago, 200 years ago. This is what I was saying earlier. That's why I said the caller earlier, I said the premise is faulty, and this is exactly why. See?
Follow them out to the suburbs. They knew that they could trade places with you quite easily because they can lead you anywhere and you will go. So the gentrification is the setup for the mass extermination. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. The fact that not a single black issue was discussed last night, that's a cause for concern. Sooner or later, there will be a complete media blackout on black people's issues. Oh, yes, it's coming. Because the revolution of black extermination will not be televised.
Here we go.
The revolution of black exclusion will not be televised. Yes, I'm George Floyd. I'm Breonna Taylor. I'm Trayvon Martin. I'm Sandra.
No, you're not. You're a lazy bum sitting inside of a hotel room. Look like a nice one. So let's say hotel. Okay. So it looks nice. I have to admit. It looks like a nice, clean couch. Listen, bro, you're none of these people, but you will do this to clout chase. What kind of man does this? You see, you capitalize off of dead people all the time. Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, even black folk that's been horribly, murdered in situations. You'll turn that around for clout and wear T-shirts talking about you ain't George Floyd. You ain't Floyd Mayweather. You ain't Kunta Kinte. You're not Frederick Douglass. You're not Michael Jackson, Jermaine Jackson, Tito Jackson, Janet Jackson. You're not Popeye the Sailor. You're not Fred Flintstone. You're not Scooby-Doo. You're not Barack Obama. You're not George Bush. You're not Kamala Harris. You're not Eartha Kitt. You're I sound like Umar now. Listen, you're Umar. You're Jermaine Shoemake.
Bland. I'm Sonia Massey. I'm Dante. I'm Amir Locke. I'm Philando Castile, Freddie Gray, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice. I am my people. I am my ancestors.
Marcus, darling. Marcus. Oh, that scene was horrible. That's horrible. When I was a kid, nowadays I'll be like, oh, okay, she's a little older, but that's. He said, you might be a grandmama, but I'm not too young. I'm not too young. When I was a kid, I was grossed out on it. But now that I'm at this age, if I watch it, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It might activate. I ain't gonna lie, family. Okay, let's get back to it, shall we? FDMG, flatulent, decadent, morbid. Oh my God. Garvo bear. All right, now that Big Man is here, it's official. Okay, this is a classic. Okay, Big Man, you weren't here earlier. Make sure you check out the whole live stream. We had a caller. I feel bad. I feel bad. Okay, it should have been nicer. I think I should have been nicer. I'm sorry. Okay, I get frustrated. I did my best. I try to be patient. Okay. Thank you for super chat. Garvo bear. that's definitely a new one. Okay.
Now they're going to use brown people
Let's go.
to start oppressing Africans, Latinos, and East Indians. I'm not talking about my Latino Africans, your family. I'm not talking about my full-time identifying Latino Africans, your family. I'm talking about the rest of the Latinos and the East Indians. They will be the new oppressors. What you saw with Tyreek Hill is the beginning. What you saw with Tyreek Hill being brutalized by brown people, people of color, Latinos, immigrants.
Was he
what
brutalized?
You saw with
Listen, I haven't watched the video. I'm going to cover it tomorrow. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow, probably during the day, and I'm just going to watch the video. Probably watch it 2 times. I watch it once with limited commentary, then I watch it a second time with the expansive commentary.
Tyreek Hill is just the beginning.
What's up, Walter?
You ain't seen nothing yet. The new go-between will be the
Umar. You're not W.E. Du Bois. Umar said Du Bois. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Here we go.
The new proxy between the oppressor and the American African slave will be the brown people. Since we like saying black and brown so much.
Yeah, we're at 700 votes so far, which is really, really good. Thank you, everyone who's voted so far. And I apologize. I know it's been a different type of a show. We kind of got off the rails a bit, but every once in a while we'll go ahead and do that just for the fun of it. Okay. Let's see. We have 700 votes right now. The question is, if Umar Johnson voted, who do you think he would vote for? 26% say Kamala Harris and 74% say Donald Trump. Okay. And I'll say if I was able to vote, I'm not able to vote here. I would say Donald Trump. If he voted for someone, it would be for Donald Trump. Okay? In my opinion. Here we go.
Since we love saying black and brown so much, you're going to pay for all that integration talk. You're going to pay for all that people of color talk. We the people of color ourselves.
Now, when I was younger, I was like, ugh. But now, that's because you get older. We want that little belly. And you know what I'm talking about. That little belly. They get that little belly. They walk by, you see that belly. Oh man, make me want to beam up the beam. Okay, let's go.
Into a dangerous corner. We have people of colored ourselves into a dangerous corner. We have people of colored ourselves into a dangerous corner. We have brown and blacked ourselves into a dangerous corner. We have brown and blacked ourselves into a dangerous corner.
This guy just lounging.
That brother who was murdered in DC, what's his name? Justin Robinson. If you live in Washington, D.C., please keep Dr. Umar abreast.
Here we go, clout chasing.
Of the protests and other political actions that are being taken to bring.
See, he says that because he's not doing anything. Umar's a trip. Jay Jones, what's up, Jay Jones? Says he would vote for King Kong conscious, King Kong conscious, and a sniff at the end. Yeah. And the truth is, Umar, one of the reasons why he's speaking like this about both candidates is because really he wants to be the person whose people are voting for. It's an attention thing for him. Sometimes I wonder why it is that Umar chose King Kong out of all of the different characters, or I don't know what we would call it, all of the different. I mean, he could have chose Batman or Superman or Green Lantern. There was a black Green Lantern too, by the way. I mean, he could have done something like that, but no, he goes with King Kong. Maybe it's because of King Kong and then consciousness. It makes more sense, at least, phonetically. But ultimately, it's about attention. The names that he gives himself, it's about getting attention. Okay, King Kong consciousness, Big Papa, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Ifatunde. These are all aliases too at this point. Even Prince Ifatunde, he gives himself all these different names, but the main one is King Kong consciousness. That's incredible to me because King Kong, he wanted the white women, and he was a symbolic representation at the time when that film came out. He's a symbolic representation for the black male savage who wants to ravage the pure white women or pure white women. And they're violent. They destroy things and they steal. They'll even steal our women. And they'll take them and try to escape. They'll climb up the Empire State Building. Out of all buildings, it's the Empire State Building. And what happens at the end? King Kong, he gets killed, but he's trying to get at that white one. But that's what Umar decides to, his main moniker is King Kong conscious. It's incredible to me. And he can't say it just once. He can't say it just twice. He got to say it 3 times with a blink, and a bleep, and then a sniff to finish it off. That's Umar. All right. Thanks, Ray Jones, for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right, let's keep going here. Here we go.
Justice to Justin Robinson.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 17. I do have a list. I think it's the list that I have is closer to 14, but it could be at 17 if we all got our minds together. There's probably some names that I don't know, but let's just say 14 to 17, somewhere around there. I think my list I'm at 14. I think it's 14. Yeah.
His condolences to his friends, family, and community.
What's up, Bridget?
I am Justin.
He sure was. King Kong was a bunny hopper. Frederick Douglass was a bunny hopper too.
Robinson. They still killing us. Somebody said he was unconscious in his car and they still shot him dead. Huh? See, there's 2 questions that Donald and Kamala refused to ask. Justice for our brother Justin Robinson.
There you go.
Washington, D.C. Africans, make sure you text me some updates and some flyers. 215-989-9858. Washington, D.C. Africans, please keep me abreast of what's going on in the Justice for Justin Robinson campaign. 215-989.
Why don't you do some?
Do not DM me. I get too many of them. If it's a serious message, it's called text message and email. I got 1 million Instagram inbox messages. If it's serious, you will send a text message, you will send an email. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
See how everything is a command? You will. This is the military training. I'm good. Just celebrated my 54th birthday. All right. Well, let's do what we always do. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You know who used to do that? Freddie Douglass used to do that. Happy birthday to you. You know you gotta get the sniff in at the end, okay? Happy birthday, Bridget, one of the OGs in the building. Okay. Someone said 1970. Yeah. You right on that, Cheryl. 1970s in the house. Yeah. I said we standing on business. That's right. Congratulations. All right. We've made it this far. Let's keep going. Okay. Happy birthday. Yeah, I went a little Luther on. And of course, everyone's saying happy birthday. All right. That's awesome. Okay. And then Big Fan says Umar is a Balu the Bear Piggly Wiggly mascot Cracker Barrel. What in the world? What is the crap? What are you talking about? Cracker Barrel mascot. Precious Vivica Fox, 60-year-old version, Prince of Denny's, Sea Lion Elephant. Okay. Why he said Cracker Barrel? Umar is Baloo the Bear, Piggly Wiggly mascot Cracker Barrel. Who like to eat chitterlings. I love saying chitterlings like that. It says, Umar is Baloo the Bear, Piggly Wiggly mascot Cracker Barrel, who likes to eat chitterlings. Okay. Yeah, Vivica Fox. I think that was recently, was it her? She said she wants to settle down and get married. I said, wait a minute. I think it was her. It might have been somebody else. I'm sorry. It was an older person. I said, okay, go and settle down. Now's the time. Now that you're 78, go ahead and settle down, Queen. Anyway, let's move on. Thank you for the super chat. Boy, that's wild. Okay, let's get back to it. No, I don't know if it's Vivica Fox. I don't know, but people were talking about this. They were talking about one of these, and she's older. You know, she was beautiful with real. Well, I shouldn't say that. I apologize, but you know, she was very attractive when she was younger, and she's whoever it was. She's older. She's something like she wants to settle down and get married now. I said, okay, okay, all right. Let's yeah. He said Piggly Wiggly, but then he said Cracker Barrel. So said, I have had Cracker Barrel cheese before. It's really, really good. It's their salad cheese, probably fake cheese. Boy, this kicker chat is wild. Okay. Thanks again for the super chat. Let's finish this up because we got to wind this down. I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow. There's a couple of topics I want to address, and I'll probably, if I have time, I'll do another Umar live stream so that I can get to some of these other videos that we're behind on. But I want to get to this one today because it's perfect timing. Here we go.
2 questions we need answered.
Yeah. There may be, but in my mind, listen, I don't think it's something that even needs to be said. Just do it. I mean, if you really want to settle down, a man can get a woman and a woman can get a man. You know, and if you really want to make it happen, you know, you have to make the commitment. You got to be prepared for it, and then you get you a good one. That's all it is, and then enjoy. You know, age. You know, for instance, I'm getting older, and listen, I find older women to be very attractive, even ones who are older than me. But that's because I'm older. You know, the younger ones, that's just babies. You know, just like my daughters, I look at them like that. You know, like y'all don't know what you're doing. If I can help out, or if someone's messing with you, let me know, and I'll handle it. See, But the older women, especially the ones that got that little belly. Well, I tell you, it's something. I don't know. Some of you men don't know, but when you get older, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Anyway, let's go. That's just me. Here we go.
From Kamala and Donald. Number 1, is it perfectly acceptable for police to kill black people in mental crisis? We ain't got this question answered yet. The Association of Black Psychologists, the Association of Black Psychiatrists are not demanding an answer. Is it legal for police to kill Africans,
I know, Alicia.
American Africans, during the course of a mental health crisis? They're killing mentally ill blacks, and nobody is getting any clarity as to how this is protected or unprotected by law. That's number 1.
Especially when you cuddling, you want to take that arm and wrap it around and onto that. It gets warm too. You notice that how it's warm? And you scoot up from behind her. That's all, that's good. Go on your side, get comfortable. I tell my wife that all the time. Says, no, I'm comfortable. No, get comfortable, babe. Go on your side. I'm going to sleep. Go on your side. Man, you know what I'm talking about. You have to strategize, okay? You can't just go for it. You have to strategize to get to it, okay? And we like to beg too, but sometimes we get tired of begging, so we have to strategize. Come on, baby, can you go on your side? Just listen. You know what? I know you're comfortable, but I'm not comfortable. I need. She's okay. I'll go ahead and do it because I know you're uncomfortable. I want you to be comfortable through there. So she go on her side, and you just scoot up slow. You don't go right to it. See, that's the thing a lot of you men mess up on. You go for it. Don't go for it right away. That's the problem. Some of you men be so anxious to get to them skins. I'm telling you, don't go for it. You got to slide like a slithering snake. That's what I do. I'll be like, and don't make noise when you're doing it either. You got to be real, because she'll know you coming. She'll flip over real quick and face you. You don't want her to face you. You got to slide. slide across that bed like a slithering snake. And you get up on that backside like that. We get up on that backside, and then you slowly but surely. I'm just telling them what I do. I'm just telling them what I do there. It works every time. You slowly start to take the left hand. If she's on her right side, you take the left hand and you just slide it over onto that belly. Okay. And you keep it there. All right. Now that you men know see, go try it. Go try it today. All right, let's get back to it. All right. Here we go.
Number 2, Donald and Kamala. Is it legal or illegal to kill a black person in their car in possession of a firearm, who is not pointing it, who is not holding it, who is not threatening to use it? From what I understand, Justin Robinson was unconscious in his car. They claim the weapon was on his lap. But if he was unconscious in the car, if he's not holding it, I know they're lying, saying he picked it up. The footage don't show that. I didn't see. When I looked at the footage, I never saw the brother with the gun in his hand.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
And all due respect to the Queen sister, police chief of DC, no disrespect, my beautiful African queen. I love you. Much respect to your family, but you're a gay.
See, he always does this. He may say something positive, and I even played it yet. He gonna say something negative. Watch.
When I looked at the footage, I never saw the brother with the gun in his hand. And all due respect to the Queen sister, police chief of DC, no disrespect, my beautiful African queen. I love you. Much respect to your family, but you're a gatekeeper. I mean, can we just be honest? You're a gatekeeper. If you are a mayor, a police chief,
he's so disrespectful. He really is. Shout out to Queen of the Cookie Crush. He said, Aida. That's what I'll be calling her late at night. I said, Aida. I start sniffing and blinking. But I'm in trouble. I have to say, y'all, I am in trouble. But hey, it is what it is. What we do for love, what we do for the love of the Cookie Christ chat. That's okay.
You're a gatekeeper. No disrespect. You are a gatekeeper. No disrespect. I love you, sister.
No
but you're
disrespect.
just in a position where you can't tell the truth. The
Wow.
biggest mafia in America is the police. And the second biggest mafia in America is the teachers. The biggest secret society in America is the police, followed by the teachers. Snow puppies and snow bunnies. But if the police pull me over and there's a gun in the car, how are they authorized to take my life when I have a right to bear arms? I have a right to carry a gun. How are they authorized to take my life if I'm not brandishing it or using it? Can we get an answer, Kamala Harris? Can we get an answer, Donald Trump? Brothers and sisters, I got to go. But I want to see all my New Jersey Africans on Sunday, God willing. I want to see all my New Jersey Africans Sunday, September the 15th, at the Source of Knowledge bookstore in Newark, New Jersey. That is Sunday from 12 until 6. There is a free black book giveaway. Bring your children. Free black book giveaway. Bring your children.
Listen, I guarantee you, Umar's not giving away anything. I guarantee you.
Children to 867 Broad Street in Newark, New Jersey, this Sunday, September the 15th, from 12 until 6. Dr. Umar will bless the mic with a certified school psychologist back to school message for our parents.
Okay, listen, he's not certified. He's not licensed either. Okay, he used to talk about being certified, but he would have to do work under as someone who's licensed. He never got his license, even though I have videos where he said he was licensed. See, a lot of people don't realize that when he got hemmed up by the state, Pennsylvania, it was about his license. He didn't have a license, but he was going around claiming that he did. Certification is something different. Okay, certification is really about what you know. Okay, it doesn't mean as a licensed professional you can work to a certain capacity. But if you simply have just a certification, doesn't mean that you can work at those higher levels in terms of capacity, if this makes sense to people. See, so what ended up happening was Umar was talking, and you'll see it in these videos. I've researched this more recently. You'll see it in the video. We talking about how the state's trying to take away his license. They weren't trying to take away his license because he never had a license. The issue was that he was running around acting like he was a licensed professional as a psychologist, when in point of fact, he never was. Did he have certification? Yes. Now he has the PsyD, and then he has a certification that would allow him to work in the school district. But everything has to be signed off for by someone who has the actual license. He never had the license. So even when he says certification, the reason why I can say that he's not certified is because he hasn't kept up on his continuing education. And there's a coursework that he would have to take. He would have to go to what do they call those? Conventions, to get updated information. In some cases, you have to take coursework. It could be online coursework, these types of things. And that's what keeps your certification current. Okay. In some fields, one of the ways you can keep your certification current is get another certification that's related. Okay. And all that will be very clear and outline. Okay. Umar never kept up with his certification. So when he says that he's certified, that's simply not true. That's why you can't find any certification document online. I haven't been able to. That's current. Okay. To 2024, September 11th, 2024. Okay. Now, if someone else finds it, please send it to me. Okay. And I'll correct myself. I haven't found it. I haven't seen it in many years.
Calm Consciousness will bless the mic at 2 p.m. with a certified school psychologist back to school message for Black parents. You don't have to live in New Jersey. Come on over.
You're absolutely right about this.
Come on down, Connecticut. Come on up, Pennsylvania. This is a Pan-African thing. We don't do borders. We do Black power.
Mm-hmm.
We don't identify with the white man's borders.
See, that's what he was called in for. But Umar tried to make it into some whole other thing. They're trying to stop me from building it. No, it ain't about any of that.
We don't deal in borders. In Africa, we don't deal in borders. what part of Africa you come from. I come from Africa. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. Start rubbing his belly.
And then I want to see my HBCU Edward Waters University students in Jacksonville, Florida, the last Thursday of September. I want to see my HBCU
Some of y'all's
Edward
comments are
Waters
crazy.
University, Jacksonville, Florida family.
Okay, we got about 10 more minutes of this. Let me grab I put these drinks in the freezer. I forgot. So I saw almost 3 hours later. It's probably frozen. I'll be right back.
On Thursday, September the 26th. If you live in North Florida, I need you to pull up with me to HBCU Edward Waters University in Jacksonville, Florida on Thursday, September the 26th at 7 p.m. And I will have copies of Black Parent Advocate. I will have copies of Black Parent Advocate. I will have copies of Black Parent Advocate. If you need to reach me, lectures, workshops, prison visits, juvenile detention visits, halfway house visits, domestically abused shelter visits, homelessness shelter visits. If you need me for seminars, if you need me to marry you in your wedding, conventions, conferences, keynotes, graduations, you know how to reach me. +1 215. +1 215.
Hold on, I got
+1 215 p.m. And I will have copies of Black Parent Advocate. I will have copies of Black Parent Advocate. I will have copies of Black Parent Advocate. If you need to reach me, lectures, workshops, prison visits, juvenile detention visits, halfway house visits, domestically abused shelter visits, homelessness shelter visits. If you need me.
Homeless shelter. What you? What?
For seminars. If you need me to marry you in your wedding.
Umar is wild. He's the wildest person I've ever seen. If you need me to marry you in your wedding. If you need me to make you some butter biscuits. Umar, stop. Umar, please stop it. Okay. Notice he don't say stuff like, if you need me to cut the grass. He don't say nothing like that. This guy said, if you need me to marry you. What? Hold on.
If you need me to marry you in your wedding.
Umar is wild. He's wild.
Conventions, conferences, keynotes, graduations, you know how to reach me. +1 215. +1 215.
What are all these markings on his forehead? Umar, what you been doing? Would you sleep against a chain link fence or something? I don't think he had his head up against a chain link fence. What's going on with your head, bro? Anyway.
+1 215 9899 or DRUMARJOHNSON at Yahoo. DRUMARJOHNSON at Yahoo. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School.
There he goes.
Hit the Cash App,
$. He said he gonna marry people.
School. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. I got 3 podcasts I'm working on. Right. There will be Date with the Doctor podcast, reality show with the sisters. Date with the Doctor reality show podcast is coming. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
We also have the Black Wives Matter podcast, where I'm going to do live relationship counseling with men and women. If you and your wife, your baby mama, baby daddy, fiance, husband, your partner, if y'all having issues, y'all could come on the
You're a turtle. He just
Black Wives Matter relationship counseling podcast with the King Kong. Oh, yes.
Oh,
It's
yes.
time to get serious. My under 30-year-old black political convention, the dates will be coming out soon. My under 30-year-old black political convention, the dates will be coming out soon. My under 30-year-old black political convention, the dates will be coming out
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. Just wait, everybody.
Black queens forever. Snow bunnies
Snow
never.
bunnies never.
Black queens forever. Snow bunnies
Yeah,
never.
yeah.
I said black
Goldfish.
butter almond queens, black butter pecan
You
queens,
know,
black
Umar.
warm peanut butter queens, black butterscotch queen, black fudge queen, black cinnamon queen, black sweet brown sugar queen, black pistachio, black walnut, black almond queens. It's black queens forever. Snow bunnies never.
And then he ends it. Umar, what in the world? Umar will show up at weddings, quinceañeras. So Umar show up at weddings, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, and private barbecues, family. He will come with a poncho with the quinceañera, family. He will come with burritos, tacos, and carne. Got plenty of carne as well. With a poncho. It'll be a red, black, and green poncho, family. You guys do know that Umar, he does sing mariachi. Yeah. He do the bar mitzvahs and everything, especially private barbecue. Okay. It's amazing that Umar threw that out there, though. You need me to marry you at your wedding. Okay, where else are you going to marry him at if it's not a wedding? You know? So if you want me to marry you at the park, I don't get it. Okay. Thanks for the super chat, Iceman Bound. Okay. What's up, Kevin Martin? Hope you're doing all right in Abundance Plus. Alicia's in the building as well. Big man as well. How's it going? Good to see you again. Hope you're doing all right. What's up, information, man? I did a show earlier today. I don't know if you checked it out, but it's on politics. Okay, you might want to check it out. I plan on doing some more of those in the near future. And it'd be good to have you on too, because I know you address those topics quite a bit. Hope you're doing all right. C's in the building as well. Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. I got to start getting ready for bed. It's only 8:30. For some reason, I feel like it's later. The show wasn't as long. I thought we were like 4 hours in. Yeah, pecan pies matter. Okay. All right, let me just play that last part. Then we're gonna close out. I have an outro video we'll play, and we'll be done. But I want to hear him do the pina colada.
Out soon.
And the hot fudge.
Black queens forever. Snow bunnies never.
Here you go. If you guys haven't voted, please vote. If Umar Johnson voted, who do you think he would vote for? Right now, we have 770 votes, which is awesome. 27% say Kamala Harris. 73% say Donald Trump. If I could vote, I would say Donald Trump. Okay, he's endorsed Donald Trump during the last election where Donald Trump ran against Hillary Clinton.
Black queens forever. Snow bunnies never. I said black butter almond queens, black butter pecan queens, black warm peanut butter queens, black butterscotch queen, black fudge queen, black cinnamon queen, black sweet brown sugar queen, black pistachio, black walnut, black almond queens. It's black queens forever. Snow bunnies never.
All right, this guy is wild. I remember that when he first said pistachio, he said green pistachio one. Y'all remember that? Hit the one as we close out. And I said, are you saying, sir? I said, Umar, are you saying, sir, that you want a green African queen? That was one of the wildest. I couldn't believe it. I really could not. But he will say all kind of crazy stuff. I ain't making it up. The big man says the snow bunny. He said, "Hey, gorgeous, two matters." I was gonna play that one today, but it's an extended intro, so I didn't want to do it. But maybe if I remember the next live stream, I'm gonna try to do another Umar live stream tomorrow. Don't hold me to it, but for sure, I'm gonna get something in during the day. I want to cover the Tyrese situation because he's in jail for unpaid child support, which is really, really sad. And I also want to deal with the football player, the wide receiver who got pulled over by the police. I haven't watched the video yet, but I would like to watch it in real time or at least live during a live stream and then give my commentary on it. Okay. Thank y'all so much. And good to see you too, big man. Hope everything's going well with you and everyone else inside the Cook Crush Chat. Cook Crush Chat is undefeated. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And if you haven't seen the live stream from earlier today, it is up. And I would encourage you to watch. You don't even have to watch the whole thing, but you can kind of get the gist of it. I'm thinking about starting a show dealing with, I was going to say political science, sound like Umar. Do a show dealing with politics, and if I do decide, I'll decide over the weekend, and then if I do decide to do one, we'll start that next week, and it'll go through the elections. Okay, it'll be another opportunity for us to get together and educate ourselves on different topics. Thank you all again for tuning on in, and as we always do. I know, but we have to keep hope alive, family. Man, we have to keep hope alive.
FDMG!
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Umar Johnson. I am a certified school psychologist.
Hi, Dr. Umar. I'm so happy that you're my principal. I love FDMG.
It sounds like Tip the Grip, to be honest with you. I don't know for sure, but that's what it sounds like to me. What do y'all think? It sounds like Tip the Grip.
Can you tell me about the school?
We are going to make history. We are going to shock the world. We are going to transform the entire community, one black boy at a time. In this school, you don't have to worry about special education. In this school,
I like
you don't
the music,
have to
though.
worry about ADHD diagnoses. In this school, you will never get a phone call.
Yeah, that was wild. He said
or an
door
administrator
contractors
telling you that your child needs dangerous psychiatric medication in order to get an education.
All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning on in. I hope you enjoyed the show. I know it was a little bit different than usual, but I think it was a classic. Big man was in the building. Y'all, please enjoy the rest of the evening, and I'll be talking with y'all soon.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming.
I can't put that up.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's 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 coming. Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
All right. Thank y'all so much, Miguel Hoxton. Thank y'all so much for tuning on in. Cook Crush Chat is undefeated, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Again, I hope you enjoyed the show. Love y'all, and y'all take care. All right, peace.